I'm on the StreamYards again, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm going to have a lot to screen share today. Also, I apologize for some reason starting last night. YouTube started holding a lot of the comments in the chat for approval, and the mods are doing a great job. Thank you for that. But yeah, if you use a lot of cursey words in your message, chances are it's going to be held for review. Every time I go to tell the truth about this, Sam refuses to report on it unless I send her a new nude, said Skeeter Jerkins. Skeeter, I'm so glad you can make it here today. Everybody, Skeeter Jerkins, a round of applause. Who do you think you are? Okay, so I started working on putting this together yesterday. This stream isn't going to have a whole lot of conversation about the phone calls that um, we started receiving the night before last. Yesterday, things got really crazy. I'll just go over it real briefly in case anybody missed it. So 2 nights ago, we started getting phone calls from unknown number. Last night, as promised, I should say, as promised by other creators who shall not be named at this time, but you know who we're talking about, right? The attic dwellers. We had ample warning that this sort of thing was going to start sometime over the last week or so, week or 2 weeks, started. They introduced the players first and foremost, right? I know a lot of us had never heard of this Zoomy person or his known affiliates before the attic dwellers introduced them to the community. Is that right? Yes or no? 1027 Anno, thank you for joining and becoming a basic Betty. We do love our basic Betties. Jasmine, thank you for being a member for 5 months. So glad I made it, especially after the craziness last night. Sending you and Yabs lots of love. Thank you so much. Jennifer Lynn, worried about you too. Please stay safe. Thank you, Jennifer Lynn, and thank you for the super chat. So yeah, the attic dwellers introduced these people, Mr. Zoomy and his friends, within the last 2 weeks, made it very clear, went to great lengths to make it clear, both in their chats and on Twitter, that they were, hold on, let me fix that. Okay. It made it very clear both on their live streams, Mrs. Attic in particular, went to great lengths to make sure that she pinned every comment that Mr. Zoom and his friends made to the bottom of her chat. She read and acknowledged every comment that Mr. Zoomy made, and just made it very clear and admitted that she's in a Discord with Mr. Zoomy and friends. Now, Mr. Zoomy's never been a part of this community before, the last week or so. Mr. Zoomy appeared in the attic's chat and said, Yaba is next. Lots and lots of things. Lots of threats were made. Lots of promises were made. Nobody was moving in silence. They were showing their hand. And then, of course, as you all know, Capricorn, hello, here to give Sam, Yaba, FFG, Widow, Belinda, and everyone targeted by the gruesome twosome love and support. Thank you so much for the super chat, Capricorn. Snowy 1985, thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. Just glad to keep supporting you and Yaba. Sarah, hey Shim, I love you both, and I'm with y'all. Hashtag Petty Fam, hashtag support group. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop watching the chat for a minute, or I'm gonna lose my train of thought, and we're never gonna get through this. And I have quite the presentation for you all today. Emotional support muffin, sprinkle love nuts. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Okay, so where was I? Oh yes. Okay, so lots of promises were coming from the attic dwellers about what was to be expected from Zoomy and friends. Chava, thank you so much for the super sticker. French fry girl, thank you so much for the super chat. You're so generous. Thank you for that. Yab and Sam, you have balls of steel for the lawyer fund. Yes, thank you so much, because I tell you what, this time we're paying the retainer. Okay. Yeah. Terry Lynn, thank you so much for joining the channel. Welcome to Basic Betties. We do love our basic Betties. Okay, so anyhow, yes. So within the last couple of weeks, attic dwellers have made it clear that they are friendly with and have not just recruited but they've provided the 4chan fellows, if they are to be believed, Mr. Zumi and friends, with all the information they need to have formed their opinion of Yaba and I, right? Hey, Meggie K, thank you for the super chat. I can only imagine, the things that the attic dwellers could have shown Zumi and friends, and said to them to convince them to basically be the puppet for a motherfucker who lives in his grandma's attic, previously lived in his mother's attic, and prior to that lived in public housing, got kicked out. And his senior citizen internet girlfriend, who has successfully become the biggest fucking laughing stock in the history of fucking girl world, OGDC, and dare I say, Boit. Anyhow, so yes. Okay, baby. I better put my phone here so I can actually see your message because I'm looking the other way, I guess. Anyhow, so let's not forget. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not going to go into that. Let's just suffice it to say that Kate Buns, thank you so much for the super chat. We know, okay, how they got our phone number. It's not my phone number that they have. Mama Best World. So good to see you. It's not my phone number they have. It's Yaba's. And there's a very specific way that phone number was obtained that we are aware of and we can prove, just not today. But for those of you who were watching this shit show on Twitter last night before all the phone calls started, yeah, just suffice it to say we know where the information came from. Dumb fuck went into DC's chat and literally said, "DM me, I'll drop the goods." And then last night her and her ridiculous excuse for a husband made the most ridiculous attempt at walking that back. Oh, yeah, she said it. Yeah, what of it? Yeah, she said it. All I did was give her, so and so's blah blah. Okay, well, I mean that's your story and you're sticking to it. Okay, totally fine. Millennial, thank you so much for the super chat. For y'all's lawyer fund. Take those jerks down. Thank you so much. Anywho, so there's that. Okay, there's that. We had the phone calls last night. Yaba is a fucking genius. And she was able to unmask the phone number that was calling. And of course, it was a Google Voice number. So I'm not sure if you guys know how Google Voice numbers work. I know I heard that Monty had a stream earlier and that DC actually had the balls to go on panel. I love that. Thank you. Welcome to all the new members. Thank you so much. So DC had the balls to go on Monty's panel. You can hear it in her voice. She is terrified. That bitch is shook, as she should be. But Monty, I haven't watched the stream. I did listen in on a short little clip. And that's how I was able to gauge the fact that DC is shook the house. Okay. But yeah, so Monty's trying to discredit. I think Monty went on to say that he spent hours researching Google Voice numbers. There's literally nothing to a Google Voice number. I don't know how you could possibly spend hours researching Google Voice numbers. It's pretty cut and dry. A Google Voice number is connected to your cell phone number. So anyhow, Yaba was able to figure out how to unmask that number. So and then of course she went on Twitter and baited them into calling again, and they did. Why? Because Yaba and I are the ultimate puppet masters. Write that shit down and don't you ever fucking forget it. Okay? Dance, puppet, dance. Thank you so much for the super chats. Dubs TV, no, this one will not be taken down. Gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know why all those comments are being held for review. Mods, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I want to make sure everybody's comment and voice is heard. Where was I? Oh yeah. So Yaba was able to figure out how to reveal the number. And of course it was a Google Voice number, right? So then she goes back onto Twitter again to bait them into calling again. And they do. Um, but we ultimately were kind of like left with that. Initially, it was a Google Voice number. Well, we decided we're going to try to get some sleep. Mind you, we're fucking terrified. We have kids here. They know it. I mean, the threats that were made were quite very specific, very graphic, very descriptive, and absolutely terrifying. So anyway, something told but she's like, you know what? Let's call that Google Voice number again and just see what happens. So we called the Google Voice number again, and this time because both times when the number was revealed and we called it, of course they didn't answer, but it said, when it rang to the Google Voice account, it said the Google Voice account that you're calling is not accepting calls or something like that, right? And that's how we knew it was a Google voice number. Skeeter, I'm not sure. She might. Anyway, Sarah, why you just sit tight, sweet pea. You just sit tight. Anyway, so then when we called back again the last time for, whatever reason, this time it didn't ring back and come back as the Google Voice. It went to they forwarded it to voicemail. So they hit the button on it, right, to ignore the call. And this time it went to his regular ass voicemail. And it sounded just like regular ass voicemail. The number you have reached, blah, 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 or whatever. Your call has been forwarded to blah, 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 blah. And then instead of giving a name, it just gave the number. And so, of course, we reversed searched the number, and it came back as the known phone number for this Zoomy fellow. So there's that. So, I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and sit there all day and we didn't do anything. Our hands are clean. We're not responsible for what other people do on the internet. Okay, fine. Except for the fact that the only reason these people are in our community of Girl World is because they were ushered in by you, addict dwellers. The only place these people are interacting in our community online is in your chats, addict dwellers. It's the addict dwellers who are communicating and have carrying conversation with this fellow in their chat. The threats are being made in their chat. I mean, okay. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see, won't we? Anywho, let's move on to the CPS call. And the CPS call we're going to talk about today is from June of 2018. This is the CPS call. The CPS call. Oh, hold on just a second. Baby, where do you want me to send it? Copy. Oh, gosh, it's been a while. Oh, I said I was going to put it in your DMs, but let me email it. Hold on. She's typing to me. Where do you want it, baby? That should work. Let's see. Send anyway. Okay, I emailed it to you, baby. Yaba's going to come on panel just a moment. So this is the CPS call, the one that we've been hearing about literally since June of 2018. This is the CPS call that Mrs. Attic Dweller wanted to discuss on the panel that she initially invited us onto. And then after we accepted the invitation, she changed her mind and changed the conditions and added stipulations that we were just not agreeable to. So that's fine, but we're still going to go ahead and present the case, show the evidence. Sarah Marie, thank you so much for the super chat. We're going to present the case. We're going to show you guys the evidence, and then you guys can come to your own conclusion. Now, some of you may remember or be familiar with the name Dr. Koala. Excuse me. And I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly who it was that fairly recently, within the last month or so, somebody reviewed the 2-hour Dr. Koala video that she did. And she did this back in 2018 is when that video was produced. Like literally like right after CPS was at Yaba's house. Oh, there she is. Hold on. Add to stream. Speckle, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's cover that retainer, y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Hey, baby.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh my God. Yes, I can hear you in my ear. It's delightful.
Am I too loud?
No,
Let me
you're
turn it down
perfect. Let's
some.
ask the people. No. Don't turn it down. Don't turn it down. You're
Okay.
fine.
Sorry, I had to take the dog out.
Yeah, dog had to go out. Are we going to confess to why we were late?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, obviously, we were up late.
We were
Catch up
up.
on sleep.
Yeah. We didn't get a whole lot
Listen,
of sleep.
no,
Go
and the
ahead,
kids
baby.
left today. Like they left
Mhm.
around what, like 11:30, and we laid down around
Yeah.
12. I had no
Yeah. Wait,
intentions of
hold on. Turn
sleeping
your
for over
volume up just a little because I'm not hearing you all that great. Just a little.
just a little. Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
I think I'm in the
And I turned
yellow.
my volume up.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Sounds good for everybody. Okay. Go ahead, baby.
Anyways, we didn't plan on sleeping for over 2 hours, but it happened.
We were gonna take a
So
little
yeah,
30-minute nap, and then I woke up. I said, "Holy fuck! It's 2:16, and there's 700 people waiting." Sorry.
you know what? I was listening to you in my ear, and here's the thing: like these people are saying, or I've seen speculation about the call not being real, and I think that are we calling specific names? Are we not using names? I'm assuming not.
You,
Mrs. Attic,
whatever. Mhm.
Mrs. Attic,
Okay, wait, pause.
said
Hold on.
something.
Sorry. Wait, you're gonna
Go
kill
ahead,
me.
babe.
Tap it
Okay,
down
what?
just a little bit. Tap your volume back
Tap
down
it
just a
down.
little bit. Yeah, just a little.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's
Okay, go
okay.
ahead.
No, I'd rather y'all get it right than let me,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh my God, thank you so much for the
Anyways,
super chat. Go ahead. Mhm.
um, said something about the call being fake or whatever.
Mhm.
That's what the team over there say. I honestly don't. You all can think what you want, and that's great.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, that don't matter. Like, we're not,
Mhm.
no, that's fine. We don't have to. We don't, see, like, with the CPS call that you're about to go over, to where,
Mhm.
back then we didn't have all the things that we have now. They didn't call my
Yeah.
direct line. We don't have the
Mhm.
voicemail. We don't have the actual hard proof. You know what I'm saying? That's totally
Mhm.
different. That's it. That's what happened. You can believe what you want, and then you can deal with the repercussions of that later.
Yeah, this
That's how
ain't
that's
that
going
and
down.
this ain't
This ain't
then. And
that.
I think that's a major mistake that Mr. Attic continues to make over and over again in his throughout his whole life. Like he still thinks this is June of 2018 and it's all shits and giggles.
Right.
Bad
Mm-hmm.
bad mistake. Big, bad, huge. But yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah, doesn't matter. Um that the case of the phone calls and everything surrounding that's being turned over to law enforcement, and that is going to be in their hands now, and we're not going to be talking about it anymore, right?
Exactly. Creek Native Girl, yes, I did. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Thank you. I got it yesterday and
Mhm.
it kind of got caught up in the middle of all this stuff. Come here, let me take your harness off.
Mhm.
Okay. But yes, thank you so much.
Lilith says, I've been texting those numbers all day. He doesn't want to respond to me. Here's somebody for the lawyer
Well,
fund. Thank you for the super chat. Erie Pepperoni, thank
yeah.
you for the super chat. Loving and Karen, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support.
Listen, you want to hear something so funny? Like after we went live last night, we told you all exactly what happened. Did you tell him why you had to
Mhm.
remove the stream? Did you tell him I was in Twitter jail?
Oh yeah, you guys, our fearless leader Yaba is in Twitter jail for 12 fucking hours because she put those phone numbers on Twitter. So that's why last night's stream has been privated temporarily because we
Could
did
you
give out the
imagine?
full phone numbers.
Mm-mm-mm. I mean, don't play
Mhm.
stupid games like that, sir. Don't do
Right.
that. Don't
Thunderbrain,
do
thank you so
that. But
much for
anyways,
gifting 5 memberships.
after the stream last night, we were like, okay, well, they're probably not going to call back. He called back 2 more times and didn't even
Mhm.
bother to block out the Google number. Didn't even bother
Mhm.
that time to make it private. Because they already
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah. Thank you, Just Deb. Thank you for the support. Okay, so the stuff, okay, everything I'm gonna show you guys today in relation to this CPS call is from my Google Drive. Okay, Google
This
and
was
and
back when we weren't even
Apple.
talking.
No, we were. We were, you and I, and I'm gonna show that as well proof
No,
that
but we
Yaba
weren't
and I were
friends.
on good
I
terms.
mean,
Oh no,
we were
yeah,
on
we
good
were not
terms, but
friends.
we didn't hang out. Yeah.
No. So the call happened in June of 2018. It was literally just the month before in May that you and I finally squashed our beef. And we hadn't really been going at each other that crazy, in the months leading up to that. Like our feud was really, looking back on it, just over a year long. So we were on good terms, but we weren't friendly. Like we weren't, DMing each other, texting each other, especially, in the aftermath of CPS being at Yaba's house. I was not in her close circle of friends. I was not, one of the people she was talking to personally. But I saw it go down, and I was also being targeted by Mr. Attic at the same time. And I'll show you proof of that as well. So everything I'm going to show you comes from my Google Drive. And really, truly, I was shocked to find that there really is enough there, in my opinion, to present a pretty fucking convincing case. And I mean, I was just half-assed documenting this stuff at the time because it just so happens that this happened. The CPS call and it being made public and everything blowing up happened like the day my daughter graduated from high school. So I just wasn't really present on YouTube like that at that time. But boy, howdy, somehow going back and looking at my Google Drive during the weeks, before and after June 8th of 2018, I did manage to capture quite a bit of compelling evidence. And we're going to go over that today. So you guys ready? Are you ready?
Yes, babe, I'm ready. Thank you all in the chat. We appreciate you. That's so nice of you all.
Thank you so much. You guys are great. Okay, so I have to screen share, and you guys just need to kind of bear with me as I do that. I'm gonna start with things 1, 2, 3, 4 things that are not directly related to YouTube or anything, but this is gonna kind of just like paint a picture for you, right? We do love identifying and discussing patterns of behavior where they're relevant, and that's what we're going to do first. So hold on, present, share screen, window. Here it is. Okay, so it's not that hard. There we go. Okay. So, and I've had these, like, this is old shit. This is shit I found in my Google Drive from 2018. Like, this is nothing new. So what this is this is a Facebook post. And as you can see, it is date and time stamped. It's even stamped with the location, December the 7th of 2015. Connersville, Indiana. Somebody by the name of Robert Harmon is leaving the message to Small Town Famous. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you now, Small Town Famous is and always has been Ron Corbin. That's one of his aliases. He had a blog post, I believe it was, titled Small Town Famous situation type deal. So this is a Facebook message. Look, it says you and one other liked it. I don't know, whatever. It says, Ron, dude, get over yourself, man. I have more things to do than troll you and what you post or share. I have a job and a family to take care of. I could care less what you do with your YouTube videos and stuff. You contacting people I know ranting over a topics post is fucking childish. I would have called you to tell you this in person, but you have my number and Amy's number blocked, along with me blocked from Facebook. So it makes it kind of hard to get a hold of you to be a man and speak. Grow some balls. And if you have an issue or a problem, get a hold of me and discuss it like adults, not fucking middle school children. I'm sure this will be deleted, but this is the only way I have to contact you. Wow. So this was 2015. So I'm going to probably, I really want to drill in timelines here because it's important. So December 7th of 2015, Ron was on YouTube. He had a YouTube channel and he was up to shenanigans on it. But Yaba and I weren't even on YouTube yet. And dare I say, Katie wasn't either. We did not join YouTube until almost a year later, November of 2016. Mm-hmm. So this is an example of Ron's online behavior and whatnot a year before we even joined YouTube. Is that not disturbing? But wait, there's more. So that was December 7th, 2015. Hold on. I'm slow at the presenting, but I'll get the hang of it. Share screen window. Here it is. Okay. This is not a Facebook post, but it's like some sort of forum I don't remember really exactly what form it is, but this is dated. The top post by Sandy is dated January 2nd,
Oh, I know
2016.
what this is. This
Oh,
I think
thank
this is
you.
local it's some kind of local like Indeed or kind of like Reddit for his town. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a local
Yes, yes.
forum.
Form for the city he lived in or and lives in
Right.
now, very small town. All right, so
Right.
Sandy on January the 2nd, 2016, now 11 months before Yab and I even joined YouTube, he contributes nothing to this town. He soaks up government assistance, lives off his mother, and has a diagnosis mental illness. If Connorsville is so bad, Ron, move. Now, don't forget, this
Can
is
I
nobody from, this isn't
let
Girl World being mean to him.
no.
Go ahead, baby.
No, because he used to target people in his town. And he had to
Mm-hmm.
stop doing it. Like they were kicking his ass and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He would write stories and stuff about locals in his town, and he would do these videos about like people who would get mugshots and get arrested and stuff. So he was going
Mm-hmm.
hardcore for people in his small little town. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why they all went at him like that, and he
He
had to
wasn't
stop. He
just
had to knock
going,
that off
he was even
because he
going
had,
after kids.
yeah,
Listen, he was
he
even
had to
going after
stop doing
kids.
that because it was
Mm-hmm.
local. So then he targeted people, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So now we're in March of the same year, March 12th, 2016. This is a post written by Aaron, former CHS athlete, and CHS would stand for Connorsville High School. Hey, Ron, seriously, dude, if you hate this town so much, please relocate. Instead, you thrive on the intention that you think that you're getting by stating how bad this town sucks. Move out from your mommies and move away, please. Our Spartan boys basketball team has had an outstanding year, even clinching the section title for the first time in a long time. That is a great accomplishment. Just because in school you were kicked out for, well, being you, it doesn't put shame on the kids that try. These boys practice, get good grades, and take pride in their sport. It's not only them, all of the sports teams do the same. So if you want to bash Connorsville and our sports teams, please leave. You are so ungrateful and a disgrace. Shame on what almost a 40-year-old male for bashing teenagers. Great job, idiot. Wow. That's
Wow.
quite scathing, is it not?
Yeah, and you know what? I
Jesus.
think after he harassed those people the way he did, I think he had to move for a while, and he just recently came back.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
In
moved.
fact, I
He
think,
moved out of that town. He
yeah,
even
he
tells a
did.
story about how he got approached at a grocery store with him and his kid because
Yeah,
somebody
and
wanted
I
to
think
fight
that
him
was
over the shit that he was talking.
yeah, I think that was a catalyst for him actually. Why was French Fry Girl timed out for 300 seconds? Hey, Mick the cornball, Jen Bren, are you pocket hiding? Fuck. Jen
You
Bren,
had to pull
can
the
you hear
wrench.
me? Jesus. She
Hold on
might
a
be
second,
trying to
guys.
hold on. Jen Bren, I
Did
gotta
you
yank the
fix
wrench
it?
for just a second. No, I can't find her. Mhm.
Can you fix the people that got hidden?
They're just hidden, I think. Yeah,
Timed
they're
out. Oh,
just
you mean
timed out,
timed
not
out?
hitting. Yeah, if you accidentally got
Okay, you
timed out
guys.
by fucking Jen Bren, thank you so much, Jen. She has got to be pocket
Anyways,
doing it because I don't see her. Anyway, totally fine. Okay, so but wait, there's more.
there she is.
There she is. Jen says, I'm really sorry. It's okay, Jen. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it. Totally
It's
fine.
usually our
Yeah.
lovely BTP.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's usually BTP. I was gonna say Jen is always such a standout member of the chat. It's fine, Jen. It happens to all of us. No worries. Okay, so listen, there's one more of these that I want to read, also from March of 2016. So, wow. Oh, March of 2016. Jesus, what a fucking, what's the word? A prick. That's what we have here. A fucking prick. All right. So
Oh, I
this
think that's
one is
definitely next level.
yeah. This one is from an account called Ron is a Bad Father. Again, dated March 14th, 2016. This is before any of us
Wow.
came to YouTube, before the drama community. Okay. Says Ron is worthless. He gets disability for quote unquote depression and then talks crap about people getting help from the government. He claims his youngest child is autistic so he can get a check from him as well. He isn't autistic. He's mentally slow, and that's all. His child's mom used to be a dope head, and Ron is the biggest pothead ever. Maybe if Ron would spend his time with his son instead of bashing his town, his son wouldn't be so slow. I listened to his video about the preacher yelling, "Shut the F up, LMAO." The preacher never said that. The best part is Ron screamed something and sped away real fast because he's so scared of everyone. All he does is run his mouth. All he does is
he was
run his
driving a
mouth.
hoopty.
The Buick, the 2000 Buick LeSabre. I know what the fuck car you drive because my kid used to drive it. How embarrassing. Hell, she's even graduated from that. She's 21. Wow. Anyway.
Go ahead, finish.
All he does is run his mouth, and when someone goes back at him, he threatens them with a lawyer or the cops.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Shocker. Anyway, where was I? Hold on. All he does is shout. Oh, he threatens them with a lawyer or the cops. So Ron or Paul or whatever it is you want to be called since you changed your name because you're afraid of the town now. Grow up and try to take care of your child. The poor kid probably is slow from all the pot smoke in your house. He'd be better off with his mother's. He'd be better off with his mother since she is actually clean now. Maybe someone should contact Denise and let her know how her poor child is being raised. You put him in very dangerous situations when you run that cocksucker. Also, if this town is that bad, you would be gone. You love this town, so stop lying, saying you're moving because you have been saying it for years. Why haven't you left yet? Exactly.
I could not imagine people in my town talking about me like this. And on top of that, they're saying the same things that everybody on the motherfucking internet is saying. Deadbeat.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like we didn't make this shit up.
And that was 2000 and what? 2016?
2016. Yes. Now listen, I know you guys love my dramatic readings, so there's more. Okay,
What
you ready
is
for this?
this?
This is a blog post from Ronald P. Corbin's blog. You see down at the bottom, it says posted by Ronald P. Corbin at 1:32 p.m. on Monday, July the 13th, 2009. I think this is from his Small Town Famous.
2009? Oh, God.
Yeah, it's whatever. Let's just read it. Okay, let's just hear what he had to say back in 2009.
Can you slow the
How are
chat?
things? I don't know how, baby.
Oh, God. She doesn't know how.
You
Sorry,
really
guys.
don't know how.
Continue.
Where do I do that at?
Go ahead. It's
Baby,
in your creator
hold on.
studio. If you go
I'm
to edit,
looking.
if you just go to edit,
Okay.
you'll see it.
Go to
You go to edit and like customization. It's right there. It shouldn't even knock you out of anything. But if you can't find it, don't worry about it because this is gonna take a fucking while.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe my girlfriend would like to come to my office and show me.
I'm
She's like,
downstairs.
bitch, no. Okay. Oh, yeah, you are. Okay, fine. Oh, wait. You said go to edit. Okay, wait. Edit video. Edit.
Yeah,
I can
then
do
what's
it.
on the left side?
Okay. Oh, I have to make my screen bigger. Customization.
Yeah, it's in one of those. I
Oh,
think.
slow mode. Okay. What do I do? 30
I
or
usually put it
60?
on 30. I put it on
30,
30.
okay.
Hell no, you don't want to make people wait a minute.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. Okay, guys, there.
Hard.
I did it. Okay, here we go. This blog post
Can you-
says
Go
beyond.
ahead.
Can I hear what? Yeah, what's going on down there?
This is the cat and the dog. Go ahead. I think
Oh,
we're
God.
delayed. I don't think like we're real time talking to each other. I can tell.
Yes, no, we are. And StreamYards doesn't carry the general delay that Streamlabs does. Anyway, whatever. This is a blog post from Monday, July 13th, 2009, written by Ronald P. Corbin. In the middle of the day, mind you, 1:32 p.m. Middle of a fucking Monday morning in the summertime. Shouldn't you be playing with your kid or something? What are you doing? Anyway, beyond the control or a phone call. That's the title of the blog post. Beyond the control or a phone call. Well, where do I begin? Or should I even? As fast as the tide comes in, so does my mood swings. Today being the worst day out of a week. 1, my back pain is crippling me. Thanks for switching my meds, doc. 2, dealing with a tragedy. Another tragedy, huh? Interesting. 3, people fussing over me, and I can't stand it. The weekend is filled with high points, low points, and anything in between. A quote friend turned on me for the 4th time. Working, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you for the support. I'm not surprised. It is my fault for letting them in to begin with. Can't stand being alone, yet I can't stand being with someone. Too much pressure. Another friend says I broke their heart by simply rejecting any sort of romance they may desire from me. If I've learned anything, turning a friendship into a relationship will ruin it forever. Unless you're lucky enough for that person to be understanding. What the fuck is this shit? On to another friend, never being a friend to begin with. I bite my tongue when it comes to words of hatred and defamation. Let's just say their vow of marriage meant less to them than the desire to be with me. So he's outing some woman, a married woman he was having an affair with. That's what this is saying. I feel I have made it pretty clear. I do not desire any sort of relationship with anyone. Yet they pursue, take what they can from me, then milk their husband or whatever they can. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm sure Ron has always been beating the women off with a fucking stick. As each day goes
agree?
by. What?
That he wrote this.
What is she
panties.
doing? Yes, he wrote this. No, I would say he probably wrote this stroking his dick, trying to get something to happen. That's probably what pushed him over the edge. I can hear Harlow squeaking her toy. Is it her slipper? Is it her new Christmas slipper?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't tell.
Anyway, where was I? Okay. As each day goes by, I realize I'm surrounded by lost and tortured souls trying to find their numbness in any form or fashion. So very dramatic, Ronald. Hold on. Okay. Some people like to be a slave to another person. It gives them self-worth. Others like to use, lie, manipulate, and turn the tide in their favor when things do not go their way, ? What the fuck is this? Did I just describe a characteristic of BPD? ? Close parentheses. Fucking, what is this shit? You're not even a writer, dude. You can't even write a fucking blog post. I have no idea what's going on here. Anyway, nonetheless, I sit here, ... in wait of ... Who knows? A moment's peace so I can go for a walk and release the negative energy that's festering in my already burning, nauseous stomach. Thank you so much for the super chats that came in while I was reading this. The negative energy that's festering in my already burning, nauseous stomach. How very dramatic. How very Kurt Cobain of you, sir.
How very insane that there has been no growth since 2009. Everything that was in that page that was written, how he talks about how he has a tragedy, his back pain, his stomach pain, his mental illness, like there's been no growth for that man. He stayed the same. He is the same man now that he was in 2009.
Yeah, it is the exact fucking same. It is unreal. It really is.
Can you hear my soundboard?
All right, if you're hitting it, the answer is no.
Okay. Damn.
Sorry, babe.
It's okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can figure out like how to. I don't understand why all of a sudden I have comments being held for moderation.
Somebody said in the chat how to do it. I can't remember what they said though. Something about going to your settings.
Well, I'm in my settings.
Thank you, Dawn. We appreciate you.
I'm going to go ahead and delete all the blocked words. That might help. Not with that.
I think that's it. Hey, MC.
No, it's not, but I'm in here. Okay, save. Redirect? No, I don't see it, guys.
Drum set, I agree. Neg's mom absolutely failed him. 100%. 100%. So were you two friends with Ron at one time? Okay, Yoga, I can take that question. Okay, so when I came into YouTube, I came in, here's how I found the community that I found, right? Was that my kid's dad showed me a video of Amy Slayton. It was Amy and Tammy doing a Chubby Bunny challenge. You all know what I'm talking about. That's old school shit, right? And I was like, what the fuck? At that time, I had no idea about, fatties on the internet. Like, I just didn't know. I watched music videos and shit like that. But boy, he showed me that. And then from there, it just, went from, a dark search on the internet of Amy Slayton, and I'm here and I'm there. And then I end up on, I think it was Ron's channel probably. and he did a morning show every morning. It was called, what was it called, Sam?
Girl, I
I
don't
can't remember.
remember.
There was a name for his morning show. So I would be in his chat in his morning show. Like I knew this was a guy that was talking about Amy Slayton and other, people on this side of YouTube. So I was like, oh, and there's a chat you can go in, and that's where I met Bunny, and that's where I met Katie MFW. That's where I met a lot of the first time, the first people that I talked to on the internet. But and then he shared my video. I did my very first video was on Amy Slayton. I can't remember the title of it, but he shared it on his stream, and I remember I was like, that is so cool that this guy that talks about the fatties shared my video. And so I wouldn't consider us friends ever. Maybe as kind of associates on the YouTubes for a while, but it didn't take very long for his true colors to start to shine and him to start to get jealous because other people liked us, because we weren't a mental drain on the community as he was, but never friends. I never had this guy's phone number. I think I made him a t-shirt and sent it to him one time just to be nice for sharing my video and shit. But that was pretty much the end of it. I did not talk to him really personally, maybe a few DMs here and there, but no, it was never a friendship. Katie knew Ron in real life. I think Katie met Ron through the YouTube. But even then, I mean, even me saying Katie knew Ron in real life, I think they when they did meet in person, it was for doing YouTube collabs and shit, and I think they exchanged drugs. So there's that. I don't think it went any further than that. I don't think they were really cool friends. I mean, to an extent, but not like that. Not to where you would say, yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah, I only knew Ron online, and I wasn't. Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I wasn't friends with him. I was never part of the group that did the meetups and the stream houses and all that. He's been saying here lately that supposedly I was supposed to be at one of the stream houses, and that's just not true at all whatsoever. The first, I'd say probably year and a half, I was on YouTube, which we're talking 2017, first half of 2018. I wasn't as present as you would think I was, or might think I was. My YouTube and internet activity, 2017 through the first half of 2018, was 99.99% fighting with Yaba. Outside of that, no, it really was. Yeah.
Why was he kicked off of YouTube? Oh, yeah. You worked a full-time job. You had a grandbaby on the way. Then she came, and then she was there.
She was born January 2017, and I had her full time, and I had a job.
That's no secret.
I wasn't around a whole lot. So yeah, I mean, I would be in Ron's chats like everybody else or whatever. But and I will say, when the whole thing happened with Mason, I did take his side, and I was supportive of him for a couple of months, I'd say for 2, 3, maybe 4 months. But that was primarily just to go against Yaba. My concern, my target and objective at that time was always Yaba, always going at her. So yeah, whatever I could do to, rake her over the coals, and if, whatever. But yeah, me and Ron's final falling out was in May of 2018, a month before he called CPS on her. And it was because me and Yaba had she apologized to me, I apologized to her, we buried the hatchet.
It was it was on Randy's channel. I remember. Yeah. We were talking, we were like, I'm a mom and you're a grandma, and and I think you're a good grandma, and I think you're a good mom, and blah, 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 all that stuff. And yeah, we made good then. I remember the day that it happened. It was on Randy's channel. On her live stream.
I always liked Yaba. I always liked her a little too much. And she did kind of reject me. Not in a romantic way or anything, but I'll tell you, well, whatever. It's whatever. But it don't matter. But anyway, we had the truce in May of 2018, and then we didn't just become friends then. I had my group of degenerates in the DC that I led and that I was involved with, and Yaba dealt with a different, not totally, it was the same community, but she was over there in the cesspool with with Katie and fucking Randy and B and all those.
My group never changed. It was Katie, it was Randy, it was B. My people stayed the same the entire time that we were in that group.
And I had my own people, my own following, and we whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until what? Probably mid to late 2019 that Yaba started coming around in my chat here and there, and we
Okay, you're
started,
going off topic now.
we
That's
would
not
we
what
would
they were
no, this
here
is
for.
important. This is important. And so anyway, so there was a long gap though, but ultimately that is why like Ron like decided that he was gonna wage war against Sam and lump Sam into all the, as he likes to say, transgressions, that he was being pummeled with. And it was solely because he saw that me and Yaba had made up, and there was a truce, and he just couldn't take that. So anyway, there's that. So there was, okay, so let's get on to June, right, of 2018. And I've got a lot of screenshots that I'm going to share. So let's just get right into it. This first one, and okay, I told you guys everything. I'm pretty sure everything that I'm going to be presenting, it all comes from Google Drive. And Google Drive is so awesome because it date and time stamps everything for you. So, for example, as you can see here, this is a screenshot. And actually, I think this is a screenshot that Crystal took. If you guys remember Crystal from the boardroom back in the day, it was the longest time before she figured out how to take a proper screenshot. And I mean, it wasn't just her. Like, this is how it was back in the original days of OGDC. People weren't screenshotting and screen recording and downloading. And, it was, we just didn't know how to do all that back then. We learned as we went. So this screenshot is from June 4th, 2018. So it's 4 days before CPS was called on Yaba. June 4th, 2018. This is Negs. Says, Negs, it's my birthday, at Mr. On the Border. And that was his Twitter that he used back then. It says, hi, Rick. You deserve every bit of it. Tell Lieutenant Dan I said hi. Rick, OGD stands for OG Drama Community. So it's not important who Rick is. Rick is a former member of the community. Him and his sister had a YouTube channel, very involved back then. They're not around at all anymore. But anyway, the point is, this is showing that as of June 14th, 2018, Ron was calling the police on people, actively making police reports on people in the drama community, as you can see from his own mouth. Tell Lieutenant Dan I said hi. So there's that. And let's see. I need to figure out how to do that faster. It's fine. Totally fine. Okay. So what this is, and as you can see again from the Google date and time stamp tag, June the 5th, 2018. It's a Tuesday, 10:02 p.m. This is Ron's Twitter account. Again, you can see at Mr. On the Border. The Twitter handle is Negs Puppet Master. And pay attention to his avatar. See the avatar is that weird fellow wearing a hoodie, looking at you all through his binoculars. So that was on June 5th. That was Ron's Twitter picture. The very next day, June 6th, which was 2 days before CPS showed up at Yaba's house, Ron changes his Twitter picture to this. And again, over here on the far right, as you can see, June 6th, 2018, Wednesday, 6:23 p.m., is when this screenshot from Ron's Twitter, Mr. On the Border, was taken. And I even have it named. I named this particular screenshot at the time, and I named it He Unblocked Me. So on June 6th, 2018, Ron not only changes his profile picture on Twitter, but he unblocks me. And I found the change of the profile picture to this particular picture on this date quite interesting. For those of you who are familiar with the TV show Breaking Bad, that is Walter White depicted in that picture. And in the Twitter profile picture, he's got a banana up to his phone as if he's making a phone call. But in the TV show Breaking Bad, in this particular scene, Walter White is on the phone making a phone call. Oh my gosh. Why on June 6th, while you're actively threatening to call the police and CPS on people, you change your profile picture to Walter White making a phone call? Interesting. Wouldn't you agree? I would. Let's see. We're going to go back one day to June 5th. Okay. June 5th, 9:51 p.m. See, even as late as 9:51 p.m. on June the 5th, 2018, he had that binocular picture. So it was definitely sometime in the overnight hours of June the 5th to June the 6th that he changed his profile picture to Walter White making a phone call. But on June the 5th, and see, the screenshot was taken at 9:51 p.m. And as you can see in the screenshot of the tweet, it says 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. So we know exactly the date and time that these tweets were made. And we're all in the same time zone. So there's no time zone change or anything. So this is Negs Puppet Master on June the 5th saying, and he's talking about me right now. What she did is why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Everybody thinks that this is okay to exploit tragedies for their simpleton audiences. I'm going to ride their necks to views and subs and advocation like no one else has, since they have no limits on what they will do, nor do I. Wow. All right. Okay, so there is a live stream that Ron did on June the 5th. It was called Finn. And of course, I have that downloaded. I've had it downloaded to my Google Drive since June the 5th. So June the 5th, 2018, 3 days before CPS came to Yaba's house. This is the live stream on his channel titled Finn. And you can see that date and timestamp right there. So there are a few timestamps from this little live stream that I want to go over. And you guys are going to have to bear with me here because I don't have it downloaded or uploaded to YouTube. So it's just kind of a bitch, but like getting to the timestamps, but whatever. Okay, I want to make sure you all can hear it. So can everybody hear it? Baby, can you hear it?
Not yet.
No? You can't hear?
No, I can't hear anything. Ask the people if they can.
Ew.
No, they can't.
Okay, hold on. Where'd
I
it
didn't think
go?
about testing the audio.
Well, it says it had when you share it, like it has a button it specifically says to share the audio, so it should be sharing the audio. Give me a second. Window. Okay, that's for the Chrome tab. All right, that's fine. That's whatever. Give me a second. Okay. Hold, please.
No lip gloss kitten. He hasn't. That's one thing we say that looks like he's aged 20 years in a matter of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine calling that your boyfriend. The desperation, dude. Like, what's the point? Why would you want to spend when you get to be the age of whatever, 53 or whatever, to be with somebody who is so fucking chaotic? Like, that's something you end up in a relationship like that when you're young by accident and you don't realize it, and before you realize it, it's too fucking late, right? That's not a relationship where this person has done those things to you and you decide, oh, okay, well, we're good now, so I'm gonna go and we're gonna be partners or whatever. That shit don't make no sense. Absolutely. Funny Girl said, check to see if the volume on the Chrome tab is muted.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't playing it through the Chrome tab. I was playing it through the player, but it's fine, guys. Don't worry. Okay, while we're waiting on that, which is only going to take a minute or two, yeah, go ahead and you can read
I'm
from
just
the
addressing the chat for a minute. Yeah. Okay. What happened with DC? Well, that's the question we all want to know. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people had this called way before a lot of us did, right? A lot of people were friendly with DC. They didn't see her for what she is today. And then when DC came out and, showed her true colors, people were like, I don't know why y'all are so surprised. She's always been like this.
Yeah.
To me, it was a shocker.
We were watching her
Oh,
freaking Girl World reactions, you know? Okay,
yeah,
just
that's
while
the
I'm
oh,
waiting.
uh-huh.
Wait, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, please, please,
I
go
just wanted to
ahead.
show this is a screenshot. Okay, yeah, so back in the day, anytime Yaba would follow me or block me on Twitter, I would screenshot it. Like it's just it was a thing. Okay. Anyway. So I told you guys, we me and Yaba made up and buried the hatchet in May of 2018. And look, here she is on June 6th, 2018, 8:16 a.m. She followed me on Twitter. She liked my reply. And yes, Ron was very, 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 very well aware that, we had buried the hatchet on that. So
I think that's definitely what
I think
sent him
that's
over
what
the
pushed him over
edge.
the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, hold on.
Anyways, are you getting that clip together? Because I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
continue
getting
talking if you
it.
are.
Well, I
Well,
mean, it's
anyways,
processing.
what? Listen. So when DC made some kind of comment the other day about, oh God, I can't remember what stream was it. Was it the one that she did most recently, where she said, where she calls us Alpha and Omega? I'm Omega, right?
Yeah, yesterday. I'm Alpha, I think. Yeah, I don't know what that's
Yeah,
all
you're
about.
Alpha. What's Omega? So I'm like the
I
like the little
think the
sidekick or
what?
something.
No, doesn't Alpha and Omega beginning and end?
I don't
I
know.
don't know
Anyways,
why.
it's
I
not
don't
the
know. I don't
point.
know. They didn't explain why they
She goes
assigned.
on. Yeah, she goes on to talk about how we were supposed to go out to dinner. Well, here's the thing. She came to us. We did not go to her. She came to us and told us, because she knows we live in southern Indiana. She knows we're from the Louisville area. And she
Mhm.
mentioned something about how she's going to be attending the Derby. And I don't know if she's it's probably DMs with Sam, because as you all know, as DMs are just not my thing. I don't have the time, and actually texting triggers me. But she's talking to Sam about when she comes to the Louisville area, that she would like to take us out to dinner, and she goes
Mhm.
on in her
We
stream to say
politely
that
accepted, and that was it. It was literally nothing more than that. She DM'd saying, "Hey, I've got tickets to the Derby. I know you're in the Louisville area. Would you like to go out for dinner while I'm in town?" I politely accepted in the DM because that's what you do. That's what you do. I'm like,
no, but
"Yeah, that'd
she
be
goes, but
great." And that was it.
on her stream, she talks about how I guess I didn't want to go because I wouldn't know which fork and knife to use, or I wouldn't have the appropriate clothes to wear, or what. She is just such a fucking snob.
She really
Absolutely a
is.
snob.
She
And
really
yeah, the
is.
odds of me going to that restaurant with DC were slim to fucking none. No,
Mhm.
absolutely not. Especially a fancy restaurant. No, I don't fit in there. Does that make you feel good about yourself? I mean, good for you. I'm not dressing up to go to a restaurant like that. I'll dress up to go to my kid's graduation or the recitals. Going to a
Mhm.
restaurant with
Mhm.
you? You kidding me? You wish.
Besides, if we are either hosting or meeting up with somebody, from out of town and having dinner, in Louisville and a nice experience, we'd go somewhere on the water, and somewhere on the water would not require any level of snobbery or snootery. Like, whatever.
Exactly. We'll show you where to go, dummy.
Yeah. Okay, so it uploaded. Here we go, guys. We're back in business.
Don't
Let's see.
worry.
Oh
She's
God,
getting it
not like
fixed for you
that.
all.
Shit. Oh God. I know that was loud.
What a
That was
shit
my
show.
mic.
Would
Shut
Negs
up,
fit in at a
guys.
restaurant like that? I think not. Well, Kristen, to hear her tell it, he knows exactly what fork and spoon to use. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so fancy. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, oh my God. All of a sudden my mic won't stand still. Like it's
Fancy
falling.
that he
Hold
has to
on.
have his woman that he met on the internet, and they're not even I wouldn't even, and that's the thing, like they're so upset because people won't consider them a real family, how she keeps trying to use. And that's the thing, like not only has Ron exploited his son on the internet, now DC's doing it, and she's calling it
Mm-hmm.
her family and her son. She's like, what do you
Mm-hmm.
mean, we're in a relationship now? That's what happens. You go to Indiana a few days out of the week, you are not that boy's mother, you are not his family. That is not
Mm-mm.
how it works. You don't just come in whenever you want and go into this man's house and get in his studio, and all of a sudden you're a mom. You wish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mary Queen of Shots, that's exactly where I was thinking. She said if I was going out to dinner in Louisville, I'd go to Kingfish. That's where I would take a guest as well, an out of town guest. That's where I would go as well. It's a beautiful view. Yaba took me there when we had a lovely evening on the water
Uh-huh.
last summer. Anyway, so here we go. This is Ron's live stream from June the 5th, 2018, which was 3 days before CPS showed up at Yaba's house, titled Finn, More Gifts from the Nation. Don't worry, I've got timestamps.
Oh, thank God. It's
let's
an hour
see.
long.
Yeah, we're not watching this whole thing. Are you kidding me? Hell no. Excuse me.
No, we're
The
not trying to
milking
hit up the
starting
goading
tomorrow.
corral. No, ma'am. Thank you for the
Okay.
support, though.
It's going to be easier to go to timestamps on this anyway. So fine. All right, here we go. This is a timestamp of, well, let's just listen. Very
Fingers
closely.
crossed.
Because this is a tactic. What you're going to hear in this clip is a tactic that Ron and Clara are still using to this day.
Type in their name. I never did that. And maybe I called. Okay. So, sexism. Didn't get to have sex with me.
Gross.
And maybe I called people a couple names, but I've never went online and showed DMs like these other people do. I've never said what was the most tragic death they had in their family? Oh, they're exploiting it. You're exploiting and type in their name. I never did that. I never called CPS. I have never messed with anybody's real life.
Okay, pause.
So I proved.
Why would he be saying this on June the 5th of 2018, 3 days before CPS shows up at Yaba's house? Why would he say this?
Here's my question is how long do you make the call before they actually came? You know what I mean? Because, okay, so you're saying they came 3 days later. So how long? Because of course they didn't get the call and then get the rally the troops together and then rush right out. I wouldn't think that probably takes a day or two to process, or do you think they come on that day or probably maybe the next day?
I mean, it just depends. Like, honestly, how weighted down is CPS in this area?
True,
you know, like
probably
what's
not
the
much.
caseload or whatever.
Thank you,
hold on.
BGTV.
I'm just looking up something real quick. Okay,
Are you
so
keeping
June
the
8th was
trolls of his name in here?
no.
He's in the
take those out.
chat with Negs. It was somebody else slander. I'm suing you.
Let's see. Go to channel. Oh wow. I mean, yeah, unless there's any racial slurs or anything like that, all trolls can stay. Unless it's, just out of line. Okay.
Go
You
ahead,
guys use your
Clay.
best judgment.
Beyond the shadow of a doubt that we have a problem on this platform, and I have every bit of the intention of displaying it for the world at one time or another. And I know people laughed at me about going and doing public speaking, but here's the deal. I'm college educated. I'm a great
No, he's not.
public speaker.
No, you're not.
I have charisma.
No, you don't.
Okay. So who better? You want to go ahead, send the
Amber says they have 24 to 72 hours to go out to the home. Amber is a former CPS worker. All right, so it was definitely within 72 hours of this video. Hold on, let me see. Finn, what is this? 6. Hold on. Oh no. Actually, sorry. Yeah, this is the 5th. No, that's not it. Sorry, hold on. There we go. Finn timestamp. June 5th. So yeah, June 8th was within the 72 hours. So that makes sense. Oh shit, I just closed my. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, need that.
the other videos of my edgy comedy. I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian, and not one time in
I'm a
that did I call
comedian.
CPS or ruin people's lives. So I think if there's a balance here, they're going to look at this video of this woman going, what about that kid you never supported in front of 400 people, and then saying they do whatever it takes to ruin you. And, everybody needs to call CPS. I mean, do you really think that some edgy podcast is going to overshadow that blatant harassment? No. Let's throw that in there.
Some edgy podcast, just trying to, play it off as being just an edgy podcast. Okay, 2316.
And that's what he does. That's what he does when he said those comments about Frenchie, that he was just being edgy and he was just trolling and he knew people was in there lurking when he made those comments, when he taught it. What did he say? I can't remember exactly. It was so graphic and so disgusting, and then claimed it to be just a little light trolling.
Light trolling. Yeah, light
Yeah.
trolling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little edgy.
Mm-hmm. So here's another clip just a few moments later.
Point forward is anything that's going to come out, it will be later. It's going to be down the road. I don't care what I intentionally put this stuff out there for people to see, to intentionally exploit a negative reaction out of these people, to show you how far people will go when you defend yourself just a little bit.
Did you see that? Did you see that little wink? Listen. Because he wasn't moving in silence. Ronald never moves in silence. He made it clear that he was going to be calling police and CPS on people. He absolutely did. So now here he is 3 days before CPS actually knocks on the door. So chances are the call was made this day, because you have to, and I have other streams downloaded from around this time, and there's a definite shift in Ron's energy starting with this stream. He's much more relaxed. He comes out and says he's, that he's, basically saying, I'm fine now. It's fine now. Everything's going to be fine. Says he has a team of people working for him, and that things are going to be coming out, that he's going to be showing just
wait a
how
minute,
far
babe.
people
Hold
will
on.
go. Mm-hmm.
Can we read that person's comment? Where did it
Which
go?
one?
Okay, here.
You read it, baby.
Oh, the reason you don't speak to Randy is because Yaba baited a closet trans person into coming out over a private phone call that Sam recorded and released. Do you really want to get into?
Not true.
And that's the thing. That's not true. Are you kidding me? There was a woman on the internet who was married, who was
her name was Full On
catfishing.
Drama.
Her name was Full On Drama. And she didn't come on camera and she didn't mic up, but she would get into these women's DMs and she would pretend to be a man. That is not a trans person. That is somebody who is catfishing women, and it would get into relationships. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but that's not why I quit talking. I didn't quit talking to Randy over Full On Drama. Quit talking to Randy over Sam. Anyways, that's another story.
Also,
for another day, but I would. That's the thing. You all can come in here and you can ask me. I've got this big dark past. I will answer anything. That is a story
she was
for another
not trans.
day.
She was catfishing. She started with the trans She used trans people.
She exploited the trans
as
community.
a shield. Yeah, and a weapon.
She was not trans.
When she got busted out for catfishing as a man, she turned it into, transsexual. No, you're not. You're a fucking liar.
No.
Anyway, that is a story for another day. Whatever. By the way, she wanted that phone call with us. Number one. Number two, she knew I'm the one who recorded the phone call, not Yaba. I recorded it.
Who gives a fuck? Go ahead.
Anyway, about it, she knew that I was known for recording phone calls, and I was, and I am. Anyway, fucking FOD. Fuck you,
just
FOD.
a little bit.
Oh wait,
people will go when you action out of these people to show you how far people will go when you defend yourself just a little bit.
Look at that little wink. Did you see that? So he's basically saying, I've been saying all these things and making all these threats to, call CPS and call the police on people to show you all the lengths that people will go to when you defend yourself just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Typical tactic. Still using the same tactic to this day, as is DC.
Good stuff coming down the line. I don't know when or where.
Good stuff coming down the line. I don't know when or where. Look at the eat shit grin on his fucking face.
Don't really care what anybody else is threatening to do. I just received a physical threat. Not worried about it. I'm going to, if anybody has anything that they feel is imperative for the project, contact me via DM. I will put you in touch with someone you could send your files and stuff to, or I will set up a dummy email account for you to send them to.
Let me guess, Nikki, or maybe was it Quantum by that time?
Imagine if you put this kind of effort into a fucking job, you weirdo.
No shit.
But I'm not going to be watching all of it. I'm going to be getting back to what I do. And I don't care who's coming at me, who says what, who threatens what. Don't care.
Look at how cool, calm, and relaxed he is. He's pleased with himself. You can tell by his demeanor. because he's already set this shit into motion. He's already that the phone call is likely already been placed at this point, or it's about to be, and he's pleased. He makes reference to having aces that he's going to play in the very near future.
Don't care. I exposed everybody for what they are. Going to put it on display for the world here in coming months. And it's something, this situation is something that people have to be warned about. There's so many lessons here. So many lessons here. There'll be a DVD for sale when we're done too. All right. So we're done with that now.
I wouldn't buy a fucking DVD from this motherfucker. He has an $8,000+ judgment from the state of Indiana for selling bootleg DVDs, etc. Yeah.
Thank you guys for giving me that time. And I'm sorry to anybody who bared the brunt of that, but I was attacked at the most vulnerable point in my life.
He's talking about the death of his former son, Mason. So again, this is June of 2018. Mason had passed away November of 2017. But do not forget that Ron was never in Mason's life. Ron did not just walk out on Mason like your typical deadbeat absent father. Ron actually went to the courthouse. There were attorneys and judges involved. He signed his name in ink, pen to paper, to give Mason away for another man to raise. He said, I officially do not and will not be this boy's father. Did not know the boy at all.
That comment that you made about the tattoo that somebody said, where did that come from? Could you repeat that about how it's basically like you have somebody else's son tattooed on your arm?
Yeah, it was really weird. He's got this memorial tattoo for a boy that he didn't know, and I heard him was it just today, going on and on about how creepy it is that somebody saw his son, a child he doesn't know, walk into frame in his underwear, and there's been discussion about it, and it's so weird. This is a kid you don't know. You've got a whole ass kid you never knew tattooed on your body. It's really weird. Really weird. But yeah, no, he never knew Mason. So much so that Mason's mother and the man who adopted him and raised him as his own son, when the boy tragically died at the age of 11, they did not put Ron's name in the obituary. They didn't put Ron's name in the obituary. They did not put Ron's mother's name in the obituary. Nobody from the Corbin family was named in that boy's obituary. Nobody. But tell us again how that was your loss, Ronald. Your loss of Mason, the loss of your son, did not occur on November the 3rd, 2017. The loss of your son occurred 11 years prior, when you walked your ass into the courthouse and you picked up a pen and you signed your name on a piece of paper and said, I don't want this kid. He's not my kid. I'll let somebody else have him. So get the fuck off that shit, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, whatever. Listen to this, though. This is important. Listen very closely. He's about to say something very, very, very damning in the next 6 seconds.
And it was unfair. And I really had no defense other than anger. I've got my shit together. And right now is probably the most dangerous I've ever been in my life. And I'm not talking about...
Right now is probably the most dangerous I've ever been in my entire life. And he's not talking about being physically dangerous.
Physically, violently. I'm talking about clarity. I'm talking about intellect. I'm talking about intelligence, intuition.
See, he's not just spewing bullshit here. He's not. Ron has never, ever, ever in his life moved in silence on anything. He's always blabbed from his own fucking mouth what he's up to. He literally cannot help himself. Cannot help himself. He's telling everybody on this fucking live stream what he's done. Absolutely. He's telling it. Look at that fucking look on his face.
And influence. All right. Should we do the hair first?
All right. So now he's talking. Oh, yeah. He just fucking shaved his head off because he's going bald, he said. Which actually is kind of funny when he talks about that. Yeah. This is the stream where he talks about how he went to the salon and had his hair shaved off because he's balding. And then he sits here And he says how he was telling the girls at the salon all the mean things that the women on the internet were doing to him since his son died, and that the girls at the salon had to ask him to stop talking about it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It was, and I'm sure it wasn't because the girls at the salon were just so deeply affected by the story he was telling. Because let me tell you something, especially women who work in hair salons, that's their bread and butter. Getting involved in whatever the fuck it is their client sits their ass in that chair and wants to talk about that day, that's how they make their money. They don't make their money cutting your hair. They make their money getting invested in whatever the fuck it is you're telling them. And for those women to have to ask you to stop talking about it, it's because they could tell that you were full of absolute fucking bullshit. And chances are, Ronald P. Corbin of Connorsville, Indiana, or whatever, chances are the women knew you, or they knew the child's mother, or your families, and they knew the truth. They knew that you were a fucking deadbeat motherfucker who was never a dad to that boy who literally signed your paternal rights away. And that's why they asked you to stop fucking talking about it, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, whatever. We're gonna jump past, look, him and his son opening presents. It was around his birthday. Look at this man child. Ugh. But anyway, he gets up again, goes outside to smoke, tells Lil Benny they need to clean the house up because they're living like fucking bachelors. It's a fucking mess. Of course it is. Here we go. Let's listen in.
No, I got to clean the house. All right. Step outside here in the rain. Yeah, it's not too bad here. As long as the wind's not blowing. I just have a couple other things I want to say before I go. I'm a good person, man. Regardless of what you think of me, I'm a good dude. People wouldn't say it if it weren't true. I'm a good dad.
I'm a good dude. I'm a good dad. People wouldn't say that to me if it wasn't true. Show me where anyone is telling you you're a good dude, a good dad. Because I've been all over the internet, pal. And what I see on the internet is time and time again, people who know you both in real life and only online saying the same fucking thing, that you are a fucking piece of shit. You're a deadbeat dad. You never supported not one of your 4 fucking kids. In fact, you've used the only kid that you will have any fucking thing to do with for a check to pay your bills. Talk about some weak fucking genes.
I'm a good dad. I go beyond the call of duty for my children, regardless of what anybody wants to say or what narrative.
That's a fucking lie. You never paid child support for the 2 older kids. Their mom had to raise them with her new husband as well. Never supported them financially or otherwise. Signed your rights to Mason away. Had nothing to do with Slade, Lil Negs, a.k.a. Lil Benny, until his mom became strung out in Florida. And they rang you up and said, you need to come get your son. Don't worry. He's already on a disability check. That's the only reason you scooped Lil Benny up, and you know it. Everyone knows it. You've been living off of your fucking kid.
If they want to write, we know the truth. My family knows the truth. He knows the truth.
Yes, Sidekick. He is in his HUD housing, public housing apartment in this video. Yes.
And the only reason you don't know the truth is because, and this is the people speculating, is because you're not worthy of being told the truth. That's why you speculate. So I'm not asking anybody to stop anything. That type of stuff is fruitless. It's been fruitless for a long time to tell anybody, just please stop, please stop. I was on the phone with somebody, asked them, please stop. Didn't matter. So I now know to this day where people stand and how they feel. And I accept it. I accept it. I accept it. This isn't a reality show. This isn't scripted. This is my real life. What most of you do on your live streams, that's entertainment for you, but you're playing with other people.
I'm pretty sure I see his white 2000 Buick LeSabre in the reflection of those sliding glass doors. You see that car right there? Uh-huh. Yep. That's the old bucket.
People's real lives. You're gossiping about people who really exist and have real feelings. You're spreading narratives that are false, that have a negative impact on people in real life. I've seen it. I've lived it. I've been there. I've done that. You need to keep doing what you do because you need vindication for your fragile little egos and low self-esteem. Or you can do something different with your life. Because I'm done. I've did everything I need to do. I've exposed the evil to its.
Listen to him. I'm done. I've done what I need to do. He really felt like calling CPS on Yaba was going to be it. That was going to take care of it all. And he was proud of himself, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was proud of
To its
himself.
core.
And that's exactly what he thought, though. He thinks that if he calls cops and does wellness checks and he scares people, then I guess they'll. I don't understand. I really have thought about it. And I really don't understand it. But the only thing I can come up with is that we'll go away. Like, I won't be there anymore. So he'll get that attention. Other people will be scared. They won't come online. They won't have channels. Like, think about what kind of mentality you have to have for that. Just to try to scare people off the internet.
Just because you're so consumed with absolute jealousy and rage because all you ever wanted to be in your sad, pathetic waste of a life was successful on YouTube. You wanted to be an entertainer.
Well,
you wanted to make money, enough money to support you and your kid on YouTube. And you failed year after year after year after
His
year,
fault.
fail after fail. Yes. And
His
all
fault.
your fault. And all for the same
All his
shit, all
fault.
for the same behaviors over and over and over again.
And he came for me so hard because when I did that stream with Randy, with B, and said everything and laid it out for people, like and nobody had said it like this. The only thing people were willing to say because they're fucking pussies on the internet or you don't know what it's like to have a kid die. You don't know what it's like to have a kid pass away. You don't know how you would grieve. You don't know if you would stay online or get off. I was like, I'm blown away by these fucking idiots. Like, these are my people and they're telling me, and I'm like, y'all are so out of touch. This ain't his kid. How is he going to sit there and not give a flying fuck and he thought that, like, honestly, and I hate to break it down like this, but he thought when that kid passed away, it was like him hitting the lottery. Like, now that was it. That was his card. Nobody was going to talk about him. Nobody was going to go after him when he did shitty shit to them because he had a kid that died. So you can't criticize me because I'm mourning and blah, blah, blah. Well, I said, fuck no, dude. You weren't. No, if anybody should be mourning and collecting any kind of money from that is the actual kid's parents. Why are we fucking feeling sympathy for him? Why are we giving him money when he never fucking was there? And like, he lost his fucking mind. He was like, I can't believe this bitch actually had the audacity to get, and I kind of basically, and that's why these people hate me. When these people see this shit, when that person just came in the chat and started that shit about that trans lie that I called somebody, exposed somebody, that's a fucking lie. I exposed that motherfucker for being a catfish. They hate me. To this day, they will, and that was fucking years ago and they're still bringing that up. Ron will never let that shit go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my dark past. And that's the shit that will keep these people going and going and going. But the difference is between me and a lot of motherfuckers is that you're not going to scare me, Ron. I'm still here. You're still going, doing the same shit, still trying to put social services, local authorities, now hacker groups in my home. And I'm still standing here and I'm saying, fuck you. That's the difference. Degenerate. Yep. Go ahead.
Listen to this carefully. Hold on. I need to find it again. All right, here we go. Listen.
I wouldn't have this opportunity.
Oh, wait.
If you want to call that exploitation, it'll go into it now. They'll do something, and I'll just collect it. It'll go in the archives. It'll go into my DVD. If you want to call that exploitation, go ahead. Because without your exploitation, I wouldn't have this opportunity.
What opportunity is that?
Yeah. Sorry, no music. Sorry, no music. I'm sorry if anybody was... What's up, Rhonda? I'm sorry if anybody was impacted by it negatively, but, you know, I'm done. That's why I killed it so quick. That's why I jumped in head first so fast and so heavy. It's because I didn't think it would be the goal was to, and I didn't lie. I told the truth, and the goal was to get somebody to step out of line, and they did. They gave me a threat, and I said, all right, we're done.
Wow. Still the same tactics, huh?
The truth, and we got threatened for
goal.
it. We're done.
Mm-hmm. Threat. Everybody's threatening me.
Threat. 7 years later, threat. Why do women threaten me online? They're threatening me with violence. I'm just a poor little. I didn't do nothing over here. They're just online threatening me. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Patterns of behavior.
Mm-hmm. Deadbeat Awareness Month.
That's what December.
I feel real good about it now.
He says, I feel real good about it.
Look at that. Tap that back, baby.
Mm-hmm. Look at that, motherfucker. Look at that. Look at that face. Mods, thank you so much. You guys are working so hard. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
I feel real good about it now. Because not only do I know my truth, but I know all their truth too. I know how they feel. And on the DVD, I'll tell my story.
Where's that fucking DVD, loser?
He's still producing it in his fucking, what does he call that stupid studio? What does he call that?
Media room? His media room?
It's still being produced in his fucking media room. It's 2022, almost 2023. You're going to have to make that shit hit the Netflix. You're going to have to make it streaming capable. Fucking idiot. Go ahead.
I will never tell it on the internet. Nope. I'm not gonna waste that story on here for people just to twist it into something else negative, because it doesn't matter. I could have had Mother Teresa in there making biscuits, making my kid a coat out of 24 karat gold while he's eating filet mignon and roasted potatoes and all this other stuff. And people would be like, yeah, twist it. So who threatened me? I refuse to say any of their names now.
Look at that face.
I won't say it.
Look how pleased he is. Just look at his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if you're in this chat, if you're in this stream here now, you're familiar enough with Ron to recognize this behavior.
One guy with the truth managed to make hundreds, if not 1,000 people say some of the most vile things to travel in the recesses of their brain that you should never travel in. One guy armed with the truth. The truth is powerful. And I didn't play my whole hand. I didn't even have to play my whole hand. I'm still sitting on 2 aces. I'm looking at him going, later.
Still sitting on 2 aces. He says in a stream the next day something about, I had 3 aces and didn't even realize it.
Those aces will always be there later. Yeah. So Finn, I've tore it down. I've gone through it. I've did the biggest psychological experiment anyone could do on a social media platform.
Do you hear this prick? Did you hear him?
Yes.
Finn.
I've tore it down. I've gone through it. I've did the biggest psychological experiment anyone could do on a social media platform with this type of vile vitriol. And man.
And Finn, for those of you who don't pick up on that, when he uses the word Finn, and that's what he titled this stream too. Finn means final, finished, done. He was obviously a big Breaking Bad fan at the time because he changed, the profile picture to Walter White. And then he does this and then titles the stream Finn, and it's Finn this and Finn that. Finished, done with it. Are you?
I don't know how it feels to get trolled. But you did.
Like, what the fuck is he?
Yep, rip drama and despair, dude. I'm too full of so much other music and videos and stuff like that to continue fighting these people. Like I said, the whole goal was to get somebody to threaten me. And I know that sounds obtuse, but people don't ever follow through. They just say stuff to peacock and make you nervous.
The whole goal was to get someone to threaten me. Look at that fuck. All right, so hold on. Let me find my StreamYards tab again. There we go. All right. So this was from the next day, June the 7th. June the 7th of 2018. All right. So this was a known YouTube channel of Ron's back then. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Drama Koala video, but there's a point in time in which there's a YouTube channel and she puts it into Google and it comes back under my name. Ron, that was one of Ron's channels, and he named it Sam Telfer, trying to, I guess make people think it was my account. It wasn't. It was him. Because why in the fuck would I have a channel and there be a video wherein it says Sam's selling drugs around small children? Call CPS or the police, children in danger. And the title of the video was Sam ATX Drug Affairs, MFW Yaba Attention. Published on June 7th, 2018. Been watching you two for a while. Been waiting to dep info. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so anyway, CPS showed up at Yaba's house the next day. So we've got, this live stream that we just watched clips from, and he's, blah, 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 saying all that shit. Then the next day, literally says, call CPS or the police. My name's in the title. Yaba's name's in the title. I mean, the date and time stamps are all here. You can see. And I saved this screenshot and titled it Call Cops CPS because, literally the day before CPS, are you listening, DC? Listen up. You want all this proof? Here we go. The day before CPS shows up at Yaba's house, Ron's SOC YouTube account uploads a video that says Sam ATX Drug Affairs MFW Yaba Attention, and in the video says call CPS or the police, children in danger. Oh, but we're supposed to believe that it was somebody else that had nothing to do with Ron, that somehow Sam and Yaba both had some fucking enemy. And mind you, these were the beginning days of the OGDC. It was not a vast community of thousands and thousands of people back then. Even including silent watchers and lurkers, you're probably talking less than 1,000 people worldwide. It's not like it was today. And it was a very small group of people who were beefing, Anyway, so there's that. There's another piece of evidence there that was screenshot all the way back then when it fucking happened. Hold on. I have to go through my screenshots. Okay, here we go. This is a tweet by Yaba on June 8th. And it says, when someone tries to pay you back with nefarious actions against your kids, they have to be stopped. First, my children's school address was put in a video. Was it that video that I just showed? I think it was.
No, I don't think it was that video, but I think it came from that channel.
Okay. Now CPS just left my house. You can't take away that I'm a good parent no matter how hard you try. And there it shows family support, community service, safety plan, Department of Child Services, and it's dated 6/8/2018. So there's no question at all whatsoever about what date CPS was at your house, right?
Right. No. And you know what's funny though is that after I showed that, because I didn't show the videos at first, I just showed that because I had no intentions of because why exploit the videos, right? And then people said that paper's not real. That's not real. Show proof that it's real, that they really came, and then I upload the videos.
Yeah. And the video shows there's a sheriff's deputy in the background. I was going to play it, but I decided not to. I'm just not going to do that. There's a sheriff's deputy in the background. The CPS worker can be seen and heard. Her kid's dad can be seen and heard. And I don't think you can be seen because you were recording, but you could hear you, obviously. She recorded the drug test being administered and everything.
Yeah. And this is what he has taunted me with. Since he did this, and has went on and taunted and taunted and taunted and said, why were those police officers there? Why did that sheriff deputy have to come? Why did they have to drug test you in front of your kids? And like, what kind of a fucking sick individual do you have to be to do that to somebody and then sit there and taunt them like you're a bad parent because somebody else called on you? But trying to flip it around like the CPS workers came because, I don't know, because I guess what? I'm a drug addict? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, people, that's one thing people have always known about me is that I've never been one to use drugs and the way I feel about drugs.
Yeah, and of course the story has evolved, and in recent months, I think the first time we started hearing that they showed up with the sheriff because there was a warrant, and we're hearing the word warrant a lot. That just started. He just started with that part of it with this warrant bullshit like this year, I think. Like whatever, there was no warrant. Anyway, hold on. Okay. So this is a screenshot from where I have another live stream downloaded of Ron. I downloaded it. You can see in the red box over here. It was downloaded June 8th, 2018 at 8:59 a.m. And that was the day of CPS knocking on Yaba's door. And in her recollection, she remembers that CPS came in the afternoon. So
yeah,
I
well,
downloaded
it's definitely
this.
daylight.
Yeah, it was daylight.
It was in the afternoon. And also the sheriff came because he made the accusation against my kid's dad that he was abusing me, and said that he was taking steroids and things of that nature. That's why they sent the actual, because they thought that it was a violent situation.
Yeah, the sheriff, Child Protective Services came because of the children, the allegations made about what was going on with the children. The sheriff's department came because there was also the allegation that the adult male in the household was abusing the adult female and possibly the children. So that's why the sheriff came, because if there was any, reason to believe that Yaba had been being abused by this man, they would have arrested him. That's why the sheriff came. CPS can't do anything to him about anything he may have been doing to Yaba. That's why the sheriff came, not because there was a fucking warrant. Okay.
Yeah, the video is out there. We're just not going to play it.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it. So, but this is a live stream from Ron's channel the night before CPS came. So he streamed this at night on June the 7th, and then I uploaded it the next morning, or I saved it the next morning at 8:59 a.m. This live stream was titled Update and a laughing emoji. I started listening to it, but there wasn't a whole lot, and I don't have it uploaded, so whatever. But just a couple of notes, just a few quick notes I made on it. This was a live stream the night before the CPS came to Yaba's house. And this is filmed at night. He was live in the evening hours of June the 7th. And he talks about his day and how he had quit Twitter that day and that he would not be coming back to Twitter, won't be going back to Twitter. He said he woke up that morning and traded his cryptocurrency. Does that sound familiar? Yeah.
Sure does.
Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. It was like almost a 2-hour live stream. Honestly, by the time, because I spent a lot of time going through the old Google Drive and I was exposed to a lot of things that, just are unpleasant. And
he's very
by
triggering. That time,
yeah, I had already listened to that whole first stream, Finn, and I got a couple minutes into this one and I'm like, you know what? So anyway, that's fine. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so it was kind of later in the evening on June 8th that Katie ended up going live and telling everybody what happened. Actually, it was late. In fact, this screenshot shows, share screen. Okay, so this is a screenshot that I took on June 8th, the day of the CPS call at 11:14 p.m. And as you can see, this is the chat. It doesn't say chat replay. It says chat as. It's live chat. And it has the time of each comment. So this is a real-time screenshot is my point. So it was about 11:15 at night when MFW went live and told everybody that CPS had been at Yaba's house. So that's when the news broke on the internet. And I do have that stream, but of course, once again, didn't download it, so it's whatever. Don't really want to listen to it anyway. There was some things said on there that probably could get me into trouble,
Yeah, and
even
that's the
present
thing.
day.
Yeah, she went off on her little tirade or whatever. I never told her to do that. I never told
No.
her to get on there and say all the things that she said, but boy, they try to hold you accountable for it for sure.
Mhm. So this is a screenshot. This was not the screenshot was taken I believe it was June 6th. I have it mislabeled here. But if you remember, it was June 5th, or I'm sorry, it was on June 6th that Ron changed his Twitter profile picture from the man with the binoculars to Walter White making a phone call. It was on June the 6th. On June the 7th, Ron is live on his channel talking about how he had quit Twitter that day. Matter of fact, give me 1 second.
Hey, babe, can you drop the link in the chat in case DC wants to join us?
Oh, absolutely. This link is
'Cause we
available
know she's
too.
here listening.
Yeah, come on panel.
And the stipulations are that you have to cam up. We have to make sure it's you, DC.
Oh, baby, you're so funny. I love you so much. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna upload this real quick because I decided I am gonna go ahead and upload this update video and play the timestamp. It's right at the very beginning, so it'll be painless because I want you all to hear for yourselves that on that date, June the 7th, he says he has deactivated Twitter. So he changed his profile picture on Twitter to Walter White making a phone call on. Hold on, let me go back to my StreamYard.
You know what they're gonna say, right? They're gonna say that's the proof. That's the proof that I called CPS on her was me changing my profile to a avatar of a man holding a banana. That's what they're gonna twist all this shit. Literally won't address anything else, but that is the key point that they are gonna point out.
That's their tactic, but he always uses that tactic. How ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah,
pause.
like all that shit.
For
Hold on, all
example-
that shit that hold on, all that shit that Witty Widow has laid out there about the CPS shit, how Lori has backed it up, how Skeeter has backed it up, and all the other shit that they've said a lot in the last couple of days, right? And the only thing that he wants to address is the fact that Witty Widow talks about how he had his son in the background in his underwear. That's it. He doesn't want to talk about anything else but that. Imagine that, huh?
Crazy. Also, while we're waiting on this video to upload so you guys can listen to it, hold on 1 second. Wait, hold on. I have that one. Oh, it was update timestamp. Give me a second. Is it? No, it's 6/7. No, it would be 6/8. Shit. Hold on, guys. I'll find it. That was Finn. Where'd it go? Ron's live.
DC's
Oh,
not
here it
gonna
is.
Get away from him. Not at all. I mean, she's probably, if not worse than him, just as bad, if not worse. Are you kidding me?
So something else, let's pause on the CPS thing just real quick. We'll go ahead and address this. One of the things that DC said she wanted proof of when we paneled up with her was the allegation, what she calls the allegation that you made levied against her, that she was purchasing illegal narcotics at the dispensary in the state of Ohio and transporting them to Ron in the state of Indiana where it's illegal. And yes, Yaba and I are both very well aware that there are no dispensaries in the state of Ohio, that marijuana is not legal in the state of Ohio, and therefore cannot be purchased at a dispensary in the state of Ohio to be transported across state lines in the state of Indiana. Therefore, it seems that DC has failed to recognize when somebody's being facetious.
Oh.
How could Yaba have illegally accused you of committing a felony when it is absolutely 100% impossible for you to have committed said felony?
Well,
marijuana is not for sale for purchase in dispensaries of the state of Indiana. Everybody knows that. Therefore, she was just being facetious. It's whatever. Okay, fine. Fine, whatever. Are we through? Are we done with that? She was just being facetious. Get over it. Let me check on my
Again,
upload
that's
just a
all the
minute.
things that we've talked about, and that's what you want to focus on. That
Mhm.
there. I mean, okay. All right.
Right. Okay, so that's still processing, but it's fine because I want to go back and emphasize this timeline right here. So what we have here is window. Ron's Twitter on June 5th. There it is, the little man with the binoculars. Okay, that was Ron's Twitter on June 5th. You can see the stamp, June 5th at 10 o'clock p.m. Then we have Ron's Twitter. Oh, share Ron's Twitter on, oh shit, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. Ron's Twitter on June 6th, the next day, has changed the picture to Walter White on a phone call. But then also same day deletes Twitter. Deletes Twitter because in the live stream on June the 7th titled Update, he says, I've quit Twitter. I'm not going back to it. So you change your profile picture on Twitter to Walter White making a phone call only for one day, delete your Twitter, and the next day CPS shows up at Yaba's house. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, there's some evidence, right? Like you're asking for evidence. This is what we have. This is what we're presenting. Also,
This is what we're presenting to our YouTube court. Now, if this goes the next step to where everybody thinks it's going to go, if we do end up in a courtroom, that's what they need to understand. Everything, we can get information, we can get messages, text messages, conversations, all that is accessible.
Yeah, you get what's it called? You subpoena that they subpoena. Yeah, and then also in the same time frame. So on June the 7th, this video, and it says it right down there, published on June the 7th. Up the same day, Ron's Twitter is deleted after he changed the profile picture to Walter White making a phone call. He uploads this video saying, "Call CPS or the police. Children in danger," with both mine and Yaba's names in it. Same day. But tell me again how we're to believe that it's somebody completely and totally unrelated to Ron who was responsible for CPS coming to Yaba's house on June the 8th. Please tell us again. Let me check on my upload. Hold on. Oops. This one.
Hey, Oda May. And that's the thing you guys
Oda
gotta
May.
realize.
Wow.
I know. I don't know if it's the original Oda May.
I'm sure
but
it
this
is.
is
Hey,
back
Oda May.
in, when was it? 2018, and we're going to go into 2023. Like, you got to understand. Of course, everything's going to be. It's going to be a bumpy story, just because of the time frame here. It's ridiculous that we're even still dealing with this.
Yeah, it's been many years for one, and for two, like I said at the beginning, I had to go back into my Google Drive from 2018 and just see what I could find. You know, like
And here, go ahead.
Well, I didn't do like I do today back then, where I sit down at my computer and I open a file and I, go and comb through and find, specific pieces of evidence or whatever. Like I didn't do that back then. These are just screenshots and, videos that I saved or whatever that I had to go back through how many years later.
Right. It's not like it was all laid out. And another thing, like people say, well, why would he continue? If he did what he did, he called CPS. Well, he didn't get the outcome that he wanted from that call. Like I guess the outcome was to, oh my gosh, I better get off the internet because if I don't, the CPS workers are going to take my children away. That's not how CPS works. They came. I mean, what did you think they were going to come in and find there, Ron? Yeah, so he didn't get what he was looking for. So he continues the harassment that has went on since 2017.
And here's proof that we knew at the time that Ron was threatening to call CPS on both of us. This is my tweet, and it's dated June 8th, 2018, 5:13 a.m. So it was the day that CPS showed up at Yaba's house later in the afternoon. I said, I'm no cop calling motherfucker. Yeah, well, yeah, I am. I'm no cop calling motherfucker. But at this point, someone who lives 2 hours from me has come completely unhinged and is telling thousands of people to call CPS and the cops on me and falsely accusing me of illegal activity. So I think it's prudent I spend the day making a thumb drive and letting SBPD know there's absolutely no reason that that person should set foot over on Camden and Little Mex on the lake. But if he does and I see him, dialing 911 is absolutely not the first thing I will do. Now, I will say, I said I was going to sit down and make that thumb drive, but that date, June 8th, 2018, I was up at 5:13 a.m. because that was the day my daughter graduated from high school. Like, I didn't sit down and do that. It was whatever. But still, that shows you that on June 8th, 2018, before CPS even came to Yaba's house, Ron made it crystal clear on YouTube and on Twitter what he was planning to do. He came right out and fucking said it. And then that same day, CPS is at Yaba's house. I mean, give me a fucking break. And don't forget, people try to say it was Sam. They tried, that was their first tactics when they first got together, trying to point the finger at me. And I mean, they even say it. They still say it. Sam and Yaba called CPS on each other. No, the fuck we didn't. Here we are once again, June 6th, 2018, Wednesday, 8:17 a.m. There's Yaba following me on Twitter. And I was thrilled about it. I screenshotted it. Yes, I had a big fat fucking crush on her even back then. I absolutely fucking did not call CPS on her. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, let me check my upload. Thank you so much for the super chats again, everybody. Okay, we are ready. So let's see. Hold on. I'm starting to get a lot of open tabs.
I bet you were on a nobody screen.
It's not.
Don't forget, DC, the link's at the top if you want to come join us on panel. Or anybody, DC, if you want to debate this.
Ron, does Ron want to come up and talk about it? Surely he doesn't.
Yeah, Ron, take the link.
My screen's not little bitty. Take it back.
Your screen is a little bitty and it gets on my nerves. You're lucky I don't kick that computer down the street.
Oh, baby, I love you so much. Okay, listen, shut up and listen. Okay, so this is June 8th, 2018 is when it was uploaded. But again, this stream takes place at night. So if it was uploaded first thing in the morning on June 8th to my Google Drive and it took place at night, it took place on June the 7th. Okay. Titled Update with a laughing emoji. Let's listen in.
Nobody's going to see me anyway. Oh, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. A wonderful day to be a neighbor. Would you be mine?
This is the night before.
Safe on this channel? I don't know.
CPS showed up.
I don't know. Did all the mean people, did all the mean girls subscribe to this channel too? I'm getting nervous.
Sorry, guys. Nasty drinking sounds.
Don't tell anyone we're here. Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting pedophiles. What's up, Miranda?
Oh, my
God. Hey, I have to go potty real quick. I'm going to mute and I'll be right back, but I can still hear.
Okay. Are you going to let the video play?
What? Yeah, I'm going to let it play.
Okay, go ahead.
Bored to the gourd, Typical Indiana stuff. Nothing going on. No, nothing. Hung out with the family all day today. Got to see somebody that I love that recently found out they have stage 4.
Thank you, Illyria.
So I never saw them. Saw my baby cousin. Took the dog for a ride. Made a video or 2. Wrote 2 more songs today. Completely deleted my Twitter. I will never return to Twitter ever again. I'm done with Twitter, period.
You hear that? So just the day before, hold on, changed his Twitter profile picture to Walter White making a phone call. He said made a video or 2. Yeah, he made that fucking video where he was telling people to call CPS on me and Yaba. That was one of the videos he was talking about that he made. And then he's going on to, give a detailed accounting of the things he did all day that day. And that is another tactic that Ron has always used. when he plans out some fuckery on the internet, when it gets executed, and he's always had other people execute his bullshit, right? He makes sure that he is somewhere and doing something that completely separates him from online activity. For example, the drama live on Katie's channel where Yaba was on panel, and because I ran back from the bathroom, I'm out of breath. Anyway, where Yaba got doxxed, her name and address and everything, he made sure that he was at the movies with Little Negs, and even posted a picture of the ticket to get into the movies. Plausible deniability, exactly. So yeah, here he is the night before CPS shows up at her house. So the call has already been made, right? So likely it was made on this date, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking. Because he gets on here and does, and I don't think he even is really consciously doing this right now, but somewhat consciously. He wants to make sure he lets everyone know what he was up to today. Then he could not possibly have been involved in what's about to fucking go down that he knows is coming. Try me. Thank you so much for the super chat. I miss it when people used to take the link too. Fuck yeah.
Take a link,
Lori,
bitch.
I'm like whispering, like, shh, don't.
Back in the day, if you offered a motherfucker a link, they fucking took it. Did they not, baby?
Absolutely. You were a
Girl,
punk
that
if you
first-
didn't.
That's where you were a punk if you didn't. That very first drama live, I was knocked out asleep on my sofa in my living room, and fucking Mandy ATX of all people had to blow my phone up to wake me up and say, Katie and Yaba are offering you a link on Drama Live. Get your ass up and get in there. And I had this old shitty ass phone that, whatever, long story short, it took me forever to actually get on that panel. I almost like 45 minutes. And I had to restart my phone and it was horrible. And Yaba sat up there the whole time. You fucking punk, you fucking pussy. Are you coming or not? Yeah, back in the day, you fucking took a link when it was offered, motherfucker. Nowadays, they just won't do it.
We don't want the mean girls to find us. I don't know if I have any mods here. I really don't care.
Thank you, Faith.
Oh no, mean words. I sent you a snap. Hey, I'll have to check it out because I just got on Snap earlier.
Snapchat. He always paused it. Just like now he's
Well, I
trying to
Hold on,
logged in
baby,
at
hold
Twitter
on.
today.
Here we go. Yeah.
Just like he tries to do TikTok. Like he goes with these teeny bopper. Not to say that older people can't do the TikToks or something, but if you're an older gal or or guy trying to do the TikToks, you're doing like cooking videos, or you're actually got a sense of humor. If you go onto his like TikTok, it is so fucking cringe, dude. Snapchat, or give me a break,
Dude, remember
the
the-
a snap?
Hold on. Remember the
Anything
first
to
time
be
that
a
he
star.
rage quit? The first time he rage quit YouTube and he went over to, what was it? Where he had all the
Oh
whirly
my god,
gigs and
Live Me.
Live Me.
Yeah, so listen. He didn't lose his channel back in the day, okay? He just bitched out. Like, everybody in the community
Yeah.
hated him. They knew that he called CPS. He was just a negative Nancy. Every time he came on there, he cried, poor pity me. My son died that I don't know. We don't have money. Y'all won't send me money for the kid that I didn't know. Blah, blah, blah. Cry, cry, cry. And so eventually, like, he would go live, and the only people in his chat were trolls. So he's like, I'm not making money on YouTube. I'm going to Live Me. He didn't lose his channels. His channels were still there. It's people hated him. They said, fuck this. That's how bad it was. So he went to Live Me where it's like a kiddie website. And he had, it was embarrassing. There's pictures out there. There's actual video evidence.
Oh, I have videos of his. I have some
Yeah.
of his Live Me videos. Absolutely. That wasn't that long ago. This was after all this. This is between this period of time and when he came back, he, as far as I can recall, when he came back, he pretty much made a beeline for Yaba. Like he admits he followed her from the DC over to Goro World with the purpose of harassing the fuck out of her. He admits that.
Look,
Anyway.
Langley quotes the very first Drama Live. Samantha, go back over there to your 2 or 3 subscribers. Yeah, that was me. Go ahead, play the video.
You were so mean to me. Say you're sorry.
No way, you had it coming. Never.
Oh, whatever. No, you're right. I did. I was a son of a bitch. Anyway. Oh shit, let's hear more from Ron.
I checked my DMs and it was just the box was filled. I read the basic first couple lines and saw a lot of, I appreciate everybody like reaching out, checking on me. Thank you. I'm good. But then there was also a lot of negativity, and I'm not faulting anybody for that. People are just showing me what's being said, and I don't even want to talk about it because somebody told me earlier, I was like, I can't understand it. They said you can't understand evil because you're not an evil person. I was like, yeah, that's true. But
anyway.
Yo, you're naked. Are you naked? Don't be naked.
What a fucking weirdo.
But I won't be returning to Twitter. It's it was good to.
This aged well.
I mean, I was really just fucking browbeating liberals. And
listen, pause it though. Fast forward to today, to where he had, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 accounts that he kept getting thrown off. He wanted on Twitter so bad until he permanently got fucking banned off of it. That's the only way that Ronald ever left Twitter, was getting banned off the platform. Same with the YouTubes.
Getting subtweeted. It was just, it imploded. I have 30 days to put it back on, but I don't see that happening. I didn't miss it at all today. I was just like, fuck.
Today. It's like that first day when you're off crack. I didn't miss it really that much. Hopefully tomorrow's withdrawals won't be so bad.
One day at a time, pal.
God, talk about an internet addict. Go ahead.
That site. I mean, I had a friend here that was here when I deactivated, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm getting rid of one of the biggest negative entities in my life, Twitter." People still go to my comments. I'm like, "This is cool." Click, because I like making those videos.
Ain't nothing changed about this motherfucker. Thank you, Langley. Thank you for being a member. Nothing.
That was my point from earlier. Like, he has not grown. God knows he is just stunted. He's a lot like Chantel. People were saying that in the chat. He is absolutely identical to Chantel. He is stunted mentally.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy though? How earlier this year, DC tried to convince everybody that he's changed, guys. He's changed. It's, he's all better now. He's all changed now. No, he's never changed and never will change.
No, never. And he's going to keep going until somebody makes him shut up. Just like he kept going with Twitter until they made him shut up. And he kept going with YouTube until they made him shut up. He's not going to stop this. Even if he leaves our community alone, he'll go into another community and he will do the same thing. It will be the same cycle.
Absolutely. I don't want to watch too much more.
Do we agree to go on Monty's panel? For fucking what? Who the fuck is Monty?
Why the fuck? Yeah.
Why would we go on Monty's panel? What does he have to do with any of this?
Monty is fucking delusional and he's a fucking creep. Why the fuck?
Yeah, Monty's not in touch with reality at all. Like, there is nothing with Monty. Like, for what? I don't understand. Go ahead. He wishes. Absolutely not.
Hold on. There's really not. I don't know. There might be more. I mean, he certainly isn't going to come out and admit that he did anything. He's going to talk in more riddles and more, as per usual. So that's fine. But I wanted to share just another screenshot or two. Let's see. This is a screenshot from, So in the days following the CPS call, I think he really thought that was going to happen. He was going to deny it was him. And I don't think he realized. Yeah, he didn't realize the absolute fucking shit storm that he ignited pulling that fucking stunt. So yeah, he started doing live streams with his entire face covered. That's not just his nose and mouth covered. If you look closely, his whole that goes up to his fucking forehead. Fucking weirdo. Yeah. But this was the day that now he claims that it was, and this was on June 12th of 2018. So what,
wow, that's me in the chat. You know that, right?
That is you. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Corey, you're lying. Because he blocked you. And what you say.
I went in on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And CP, you're saying in the chat,
if be acting like this.
Yeah. Yep. And you said
Because
your
he
line
got
showed
online.
proof, Ron?
Oh, I know. I remember. Because after, we told the community what had went down, then he went online and said that CPS came to his house. And I said, if CPS came there, why would you be online acting like a complete maniac with your face covered in front of your kid raging at the internet? Like, who would do that?
Yeah, because these videos in the days after that CPS call were disturbing. And I'm sure I have several of them. I just quit. June 12th is as far as I went.
Katie said,
But
how many lives have you run on this platform and you finally get called out? And that's so true. And that's the thing.
Well,
Like,
and
he would
also, hold on. Look at Punky B's comment at the very top. Punky B, who didn't Punky end up being a mod for him years later? I don't know. Doesn't matter. She says, at this point, what do you want Katie to do, Ron? She has retracted the GoFundMe statement, asked people not to bother you. What do you want from her at this time? So she must have done those things.
Katie did come out and say something about, okay, so when Mason passed away, Ron did share a GoFundMe, and I never got behind Katie when she said that she had bad information. Somebody gave her bad information, try to say that Ron had 2 GoFundMes. I said, no, Katie, that's not true. He did share, and it was actually Mason's family's GoFundMe. That is true. That is 100%
It wasn't
true.
that Kathy
There was no
woman?
2 GoFundMe. Yeah, Kathy or something like that. And Katie retracted that. And to this day, you will hear Ron say, you accused me of having 2 GoFundMes. And she's like right there. It says she took it back. She took it back. She was wrong. But to hear him tell it, no, he's still waiting on her to, to make that wrong right. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll leave it on screen for another second here. It says and this is June 12, 2018. Katie retracted the GoFundMe statement, asked people not to bother you. But that's not the story you're telling present day, is it? You and your girlfriend. No, it's not. That's shameful. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Oh,
Katie
this is one
that's calling his mom the other night. No way.
Did she really?
What Katie does
I believe
over
that.
There.
I believe.
I mean,
that.
honestly, I can't blame anybody for anybody fucking calling and asking his mom to knock that shit off.
Yeah. Okay, so I went a little further. I went to June 17th. This is a tweet from so remember Ron said he was never coming back to Twitter? Well,
yeah.
This was
shocking,
his next. Yeah. By the 17th, he was definitely back on Twitter at Negs is God. He's responding to Drama Koala. I made mention of Drama Koala's video earlier at the beginning of the stream. Drama Koala. And remember, I told you she did that 2-hour expose on Ron, and it was released right after the CPS call. Well, here you go.
Yes.
This is Ron addressing Drama Koala about that video. And the Drama Koala video has the footage that Yaba took of CPS in her house. Like, it includes that at the end. So anyway, this is Ron talking to Drama Koala. Be sure to include why I was in a downward spiral. Don't forget the women who participated in the harassment of my family. Nobody harassed his family. Nobody. Be fair, and I'll be fair. Don't exploit my depression to paint me as a psycho. You know why this is all happening.
He feels like that he had a reason to do what he did. He feels justified. Yeah. And that's the thing. He knows that he called CPS. He knows he was behind all that shit, and he feels justified. That's why he doesn't care to double down on it. Because we called him out when he came on here exploiting Mason. And he feels like because we did that he is justified in him doing what he did to everybody else, which turned into a 6-year feud. That's where all the feuds is over this. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. We're about nearing the end of, I guess this is YouTube court, isn't it?
Our presentation. You can take this and you can add it on to what Witty Widow and what the friends of Ronald back in when, that all happened and what they are saying now. And their story has never changed. I wish you would have got that stream, and maybe you can go over that one day when, Witty came on to a panel of Katie's back when she still had her channel. And she came on there and she admitted and she apologized to not letting me know about the CPS thing and said that, yes, he had admitted to them at the house party or whatever that he was the one that was behind the call.
Yeah. This is the last story screenshot.
Has never changed.
No, it hasn't. And yeah. Oh God. Is that it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Hold on. My AirPod's
place
dying.
Your vote in the chat, please.
Yep. Please place your vote. Hold on. God dang it. No, I can't hear you. Fuck. Hold on. Where's my audio?
Hey,
Okay, I can hear
Frenchie.
you
Hey,
again.
Gigi.
Okay, so this is the last screenshot I want to share. This is a Facebook post, okay, made by Ron Corbin. It says right there, Ron Corbin. He's posting on the WTHR TV verified Facebook account. This post was made on June the 9th. I guess actually no, it was June the 8th. No, early morning hours of June the 9th, because here's my screenshot, date and time stamped by Google. Thank you, Google. June 9th at 11:12 a.m. is when I took this screenshot. And at that time, the post had been up on Facebook for 6 hours. So about 5 a.m., the day after CPS was in Yaba's house, and the morning after Katie did the live stream telling everybody about it. He posts on this verified news station, "Please help me. I've been stalked and harassed by this woman for a year. She exploits my son's passing to harass me. The local officer came and was more interested in lecturing me on my career choice." And then he gives a link to the live stream where Katie told everybody that he had called CPS on Yaba. And I found that on Twitter or on Facebook. And as you can see, there's me, Samantha Lawson Telfer. That was my Facebook name. Ron Corbin, a.k.a. Negs Nonsense, a.k.a. Stay Negative, a.k.a. Mr. On the Border. And then their screenshot. I just plowed that little post with screenshot after screenshot on his ass. Because that's what I did.
He wanted to, can you put that back up? He wanted to be a victim so bad.
Oh, yes,
this was not the first instance of him tagging our local news stations. He also did it to me, and he would use the screenshot that rang around the world. The one before the retard comment, the one where I said something to the effect of, what about his dead kid, Sam? Do you remember exactly what the tweet was that he always would show in videos when he was trying to show the world what I did, expose me or whatever? That was like the main screenshot. It had me saying something about his dead kid. He referred to his kid that passed away as his dead kid. That's how he would refer to his kid. His dead kid.
He did.
His dead kid. Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you, if I spent a little more time scrolling back through my Google Drive, in fact, maybe I'll do that. We can show you, we can prove to you that those were Ron's own words. Go ahead.
Yeah. But anyways, so he would take those screenshots or whatever, and he would tag local news stations, and those ended up being the screenshots that he left when he was trying to hurt my business. He would then go on to take those screenshots when I said something about his dead kid. He would put it on there. He's known for doing this. He will gaslight somebody. He will poke and poke and poke. And as soon as they hit him back with the energy, he starts tagging local news stations. He starts calling your relatives. He starts to do anything to say, look at what they did to me, and then leaves out what he did to them. These have been his tactics for years. Imagine what it must have been like in high school with this guy.
Unreal. Hold on one second.
Yeah, the news stations. He was hoping that a news station would pick it up. The cops he has called the cops multiple times to his house to try to file reports on myself, on Katie. And that was before he got the EPOs earlier this year. Like, he tried that shit back in 2017 or 18. He always does that shit. It's like, for whatever reason, he just wants to run people off the internet. It's the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. If he would put that energy into actually running a channel, and I think what it comes down to, guys, honestly, because when we came on here, like I told you, I came on and I found, Amy Slayton, and then found Ron's channel, and he was reacting to Amy and Amber, and then what would later be Chantel. Well, he feels like because he was doing it first, then when we came on and then we started talking about Amy and Amber, and people started liking us, I guess, more because we would get more views and more subscribers, he didn't understand why. He didn't understand why they liked them better than me. And so instead of focusing on making his content better or whatever, he was just like, okay, now I just got to get rid of the competition. And that's so fucking insane when you just listening to myself say that. It's like, wow, like, really, dude, this is what we're doing here? But that's what it's all about. All this is over fucking jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll say how we're so jealous of him and everything he has and the home that he owns now. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, I just can't even take them serious. None of it. None of it. And when they, when they talked about how this Zoom post, you were talking about the phone call earlier, and I just want to come back to that before you wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when DC was like pinning these comments, I was like, why would anybody entertain her? Like, this dude's supposed to be a hacker and all this like scary stuff. Why would somebody like that be entertaining the likes of DC? So I really, when she was pinning the comments, I was like, what the fuck ever? That's probably Ron in the other room. So when we actually were able to trace it back to that person, I was shocked to find out. I'm not gonna lie. Sam was on the other fence of those things where she thought it was him. Like, she wasn't surprised at all to find out that it was him. But what? Like, it doesn't. None of it makes sense to me. Like, what are we doing? For what?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm looking for something, which I don't know why I can't see it.
Didn't he at one point steal your channel name? Let's address the channel name, please. Yes, because he always wants to bring up the YouTube Underground and how I stole it from him. Listen, we had a click. It was like we were calling ourselves like it's so fucking cringy. It was me, it was Ron, it was Bunny, it was Amy Mae. We would get together, we would do these skits. It was funny. It was a good time until all this shit happened, right? And we were like the underground of YouTube. And he might have coined the phrase the YouTube Underground. He never created a channel. There was no merch. There was none of that. We just considered ourselves like the underground of YouTube. And so when I created the YouTube Underground, of course, he's got to take credit for that. I mean, but there's nothing there to back up that he actually ever had the name the YouTube Underground. He can't produce anything other than the words out of his mouth. It's so dumb.
I just have 3 more things I'm going to share, and then we got to go. We have a phone call scheduled here in a few minutes.
Okay.
And I don't care. I'm not going to edit out names or anything, because at this point, fuck you and your whole fucking family. Don't care. Okay. So, as you all now know, because I've said it multiple times, this child that passed away, Mason, Ron was never his father. Ron signed papers to not be Mason's father. Another man adopted him and raised him. Ron was not in his life. Ron was not named in the obituary. Okay. So explain to me then, and don't forget, Mason passed away in November of 2017. So how is it that Ron is no part of Mason's life, but his mother, Cindy Martin, clearly still maintained contact with the child's mother? Here's a post from the child's mother, Jessica, November of 2016, a year before the child passed away. And in the comments, there's Ron's mom. They're so cute. And if you hover over where it says 6Y on Facebook, it will give you, I love this feature, the date and time stamp. So the comment was left on Thursday, December the 1st, 2016 at 6:03 a.m., 11 months before Mason passed away. So Ron was not permitted contact with the child that he signed away rights to, but it looks like his mother was permitted over the years to at least, have some degree of access, even if it was only, access to his mother's Facebook where she could see, pictures and whatnot. Right. Which is crazy. Well, then something else I found, and again, I don't give a fuck, because fuck you forever. Oh my gosh, what's this? This is Silas Corbin, who is one of Ron's 2 older boys, Silas Corbin, who he did not raise, did not pay child support on. Okay. But this is Silas, and this is a screenshot of a comment that he left 7 weeks ago on Mason's mother's Facebook, which was 7 weeks ago was the anniversary of Mason's passing. And so every year on the anniversary of Mason's passing, his mother makes a little Facebook tribute to him. And I must add that I have looked at every comment and every like of every single one of those posts. And never once has any of Ron's social media accounts liked
And he has
or
several.
commented. And he has several, yes. I don't know what just happened. You just got real fuzzy, babe. Never once, nowhere on any of these posts since Mason's death has Ron liked any of these posts or commented on them. But there's Silas 7 weeks ago. Not a day goes by I don't think about him. He has helped me more than words can tell. Miss him dearly. That's a goddamn shame, Ron, is it not? I don't know which one of us is getting wonky, but
Is it me? Can you hear me?
it's you. It's you. Ooh, it's you for sure. Okay, I muted you. I think you're better now. Are you back? Oh, maybe not. Oh, she dropped out. Totally fine. We're about to end the stream anyway. Hold on. I just dropped something. Oh, there it is. Oh, hold on. Okay. Let me end the poll. So 898 votes. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in the poll. 898 votes. 97. Oh, I'm sorry. 901. Sorry, I should have given you guys a minute or two warning before I ended the poll. It looks like some people got in their votes at the very last minute. Babe, I just ended the poll. It's gone to the jury. We've handed this over to the jury, and the verdict is in. 901 members of the jury, and 97% have voted guilty. Does anybody know what 97% of 901 is? I don't know. I can't do math like that, but that's fine. Oh, let's ask Alexa. What is 97% of 901?
97% of 901 is 873.97.
Sounds about right.
You can thank the driver of your most recent delivery and we'll share your appreciation with them.
Alexa, be quiet. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to YouTube Court, DC. You're welcome. Hold on. Do you have something to say?
Yes, I just want to add in that this was just the first of many that we're going to respond to, because here's how this is going to work. That even though I am the bigger creator, it doesn't mean that we have to ignore all these accusations and all these people coming after us. So this is just the first round. This was Ron. This was
yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, so there was, hey, Kim Fisher. Good to see you. I'm just going to respond to this one little thing just because it's so, DC made such a big deal about it yesterday on her stream. And I just don't understand why, when it's really quite simple. And since we are still gathered here today in my courtroom, it's appropriate that I address it. So DC wants to know why, if I have an attorney and a judge in my immediate family, why is it that we're scratching up attorneys off the internet to do pro bono? Why don't I have the attorney and or judge in my family handle my legal matters for me? Well, here's why. It's very simple. One is neither member of my family. For one, the attorney is now retired, long retired. He's almost 80 years old. But he also has never been licensed to practice law in the state of Indiana. Never. He's not licensed to practice law in any of the surrounding states. Never has been. And then the member of my immediate family, who's a sitting judge, again, also has never been licensed to practice law in the state of Indiana. He is an appellate court judge in another state. However, with that being said, I think that my track record in a court of law speaks for itself. I never enter any court of law or legal situation without consulting with the family members of mine who, you know, are attorneys or judges or whatever. And I think that the results of, you know, my history in the court of law speaks for itself. I don't lose. So there's that. That's why. Does that answer that for you, DC? That's why my family members don't handle my legal matters. They're not licensed. One is retired. I mean, what do you want? What do you want? Was that it? Was there anything else?
No. So I was just saying how this is just one of many. I do feel like, you know, especially with the ATX, we will be addressing ATX, and it is going to be here on this channel. We're going to be responding to her video that was played yesterday?
Oh, absolutely. We will be responding to Mandy ATX and her cuck of a husband, Tomahawk Sean.
Yeah.
Also know to Stink Box and Pawn Shop. Go ahead. Continue to threaten me, Mandy. Go ahead. I'm not scared of your threats.
Or
I'm not.
Arabia.
We're not scared of
Nobody
Arabia.
cares about bum ass Arabia who sets at what 5-2. Tell Arabia to go fuck herself.
Yeah, Arabia, get bent. Go fuck yourself. How's your grandson doing? Anyway, I have a gavel. I do. I think it's put up right now. Totally fine. I'll get it out. But yeah, wouldn't it be conflict? I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It ended so well for them last time. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to say? Are we good here?
No, that's it. This just ain't 2020.
Yeah, this is not 2020. This is not the same ball game. This is not the same field. I mean, dude, you can't, everything you're threatening me with now, you came at me with in 2020 when I was in a much, much more vulnerable state. Yeah. And I mean, nothing happened then. Everything's fine. We survived. Boy, they went to great lengths to try to break us up, didn't they? And look at us.
Yeah.
We're about to celebrate our 3rd anniversary.
And that's another thing about Mandy ATX talking about how she's got it that you and it's so fucking crazy like that this bitch, the woman who cheated on her husband with truthfully Trisha's husband is going around talking about you at the beginning of our relationship, slept with a man for marijuana, and not only slept with him, but there was a tape that was recorded that they were promised they were going to give it to me and I was going to see it. Number one, Mandy, I'm going to tell you right now, if the tape existed, I don't give a fuck. But number two, it does not. And the fact that you're still holding on to that lie and think that you're going to hold that over Sam's head is hilarious.
Girl, please. Girl, please. You would think by now, though, that they would have come up with something.
Did you see him last night all cracked out and like had the itchies in
Yeah.
his mouth and shit like that?
Yeah. Man, the way they were chugging those drinks and it nothing helped that dry mouth.
Yeah, they totally, didn't just get done getting high. Please. We love to play. Why would you jeopardize your channel, Yabba, that pays your bills and supports your children? Why do you care? Why are you worried about it? That's the question I have.
Yeah, well.
And again, Mandy and Sean, you'll be offered a link and you can come on and we can discuss and debate and all that stuff. But
Oh,
for now,
absolutely.
we got to go. We've got things to do.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Yeah, we got to go. Bye, guys.
Bye.